G here with the fucking free edition of the greatest show on the fucking internet, the NFL Roundtable Show, sponsored by 4deep.com. Get over to 4deep, weekly, monthly, annual. We just dropped a rest of 2023 package, 50% off discounted package for you guys. Get over there, sign up, join. You will see now over the next 60 to 90 minutes why you need to be a part of this community. And I am joined by, Benny, what the fuck? We got suits on here, bro. Suits.
You have to dress up to collect the Cam Akers bet, dude.
I'm going to have to manage 5 morons, which is going to be very difficult. But let me introduce the guys in order. We'll start with the top left. Benny Riccardi, the newest addition to the Mayhem Mafia over here at 4 Deep. Benny, are you excited to be a part of the NFL Roundtable?
I'm very excited. You know, I was going to do this last week, but I didn't get the invite. So I'm glad I'm on the guest list this week.
I mean, listen, we had to run with the OG crew for the first week just to make sure we were on the rails. And everyone did a great job, I got to say. Everyone did a great job. Outside of my Drake London pick, everyone did a fantastic job. We'll talk about that. Trevor, GOAT. What? Bro, you're looking like fucking Men in Black. You went full fucking ScarFace here today, huh?
Women want me. Men want to be me. Record day in this household. I feel like $1 million because I got $1 million fucking bucks, and we're gonna make some money this week on DraftKings and FanDuel.
Nice. And I introduced it last week, but for those of you that missed the show last week, this is usually behind the paywall for our subscribers. We're bringing it free to you guys on YouTube. Friday night, only the fucking true degens and true losers are home, or married people. Benny, describe your style real quick, and then I'll run through the rest. Your DFS style. Where do you lean more? Cash games, GPP, etc.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a GPP guy all the way. Basically, you know, I like to spend decent amount of money on my wide receivers, try to save in my quarterback, tight end, and running back position, and just take all the money at the end of the day. That's usually the way it works.
And Benny's been with me from the beginning, one of the first hires at my original company that we work for, which will remain nameless. Trevor is our GPP GOAT. Trevor is the craziest person, not only in the company, in the entire world. And he will drop those 1% dimes that'll win in your Millie Makers. Also a great DFS player from a cash game and GPP perspective. But Trevor, you have no filter. You have no remorse. And you pretty much just fire recklessly trying to either win $1 million or nothing, correct?
If I think it, I say it. I love the 3-entry max. It puts me on an even playing field. I'm a very, very, very busy man. I don't have hours to put in 7,000 lineups.
Someone's background noise, guys. Make sure we got no TVs in the background. Go on, Trev.
Apologies. I don't have time to sit down for 17 hours and build some algorithm. I got to get my lineups in there. Like 3-man, it puts me on an even keel. I like the $150 mark. That's my sweet spot. Had a lot of success.
Time's up. Good job. All right, on to ScarFace. We got to be tight, guys. We got to be tight. We got 6 guys. We got to go. Apologies. ScarFace looking like a fucking $1 trillion if Trevor's looking like $1 million. Sitting there breaking this suit out. We hung out in Vegas. ScarFace, did you win 100,000 last week, or did you have an off week?
100,000 last week. The most important bet I won last week was the one that you and I had with the Cam Akers bet.
Can we at least let the show go fucking 5 minutes before you and Healy attack me that you fucking raped me?
I had to get to it before Healy got to it.
I mean, come on, guys. I get it. I know. You fucking won. We're going to talk about that. I feel like there was some controversy. Healy's saying I'm wrong, but we'll see. So I owe you guys $500, which is not fun for me, for Cam Akers. Cam Akers, 22 carries, 29 yards. Thank you very much, Cam. 22 carries, 29 yards. That was a fantastic performance. And got vultured twice at the goal line. That was great. But ScarFace, fucking absolute monster, high-stakes player. Takes down 6. I'm not even kidding when I say this. It's literally like every week that this kid takes down like $100,000. Mike Constantino, you know him very well from the Stay Cashin' Show. Con Man considers himself the #1 handicapper in the entire company of 4 Deep and is backing it up with a hot start to the season. Also, our UFC and combat sports tout. Been absolutely scorching fucking earth in UFC, Mike. But DFS week 1, how'd you feel?
I felt good. I hit some spots and, of course, missed some spots because I didn't win anything, significant. Cash game lineup did well. A bunch of plays that we gave on the show and discussed hit, a couple of top 3 finishes, and looking forward to getting back at it this week.
Yeah, looking to grind on it. And then obviously the fucking GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Healy. Brian, you showed up like a minute before the show, right on time. I mean, we never start before 5 minutes after the hour. We actually had to wait for you a little bit, Healy, but anyone else, we wouldn't have waited. But for the great Brian Healy, we have to fucking roll out the red carpet. Can't start without you.
I appreciate it. I wish I had a few more minutes. I could have got dressed up like the rest of the crew.
I mean,
here, but I feel a little underdressed.
I kind of like it. I like it, right? Like ScarFace was unexpected. I kind of knew Trevor was going to do something fucking crazy. I went Kelly Kapowski thinking I was going to be the splash, right? With the throwback fucking sex symbol. And I mean, Jesus Christ, you guys really
Who doesn't love Kelly Kapowski?
I mean, listen, I thought I was killing it. Now I look fucking, I look homeless. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go through every single game. We're going to break down the slate. This is a DFS show and a betting show and a prop show. Trevor, did you raise your hand?
For Kelly Kapowski.
Okay.
For another drink.
There you go. Oh, by the way, everyone better be drinking. If you're not drinking, you better start drinking at some point. What are we drinking? Round. Trevor?
We're going with the Johnny Walker Blue tonight.
We're going with the Mac
Blue
12.
Blue label. What are you going there, ScarFace?
The Mac 12.
Mac 12. All right. Healy, did you have time to grab a drink before you got on here?
Just a tall vodka club.
All right. I'm
Quick
going
mix.
with, by the way, the greatest glass in the history. So this is my Roundtable glass that I use every day. This is an actual Belvedere bottle that was broken into a glass. And I call this the Liquid G. It is tequila, high noon, vodka, and moonshine with some
You
pineapple.
can't just drink alcohol fucking normal. He's got to have like 3 of them.
Bro, if I'm not fucking slurring by the end of this thing, something's wrong. If you see my camera,
There might be actual G in there.
So extreme.
Yeah. There's actually even the pineapples in here are infused with moonshine. So everything alcohol. If you see my camera go off, that probably means I just went and did a bump. Let's get popping. So, ScarFace, give me the rundown of last week, what you thought, high, lows. Everyone go spend a minute or two about what your big takeaways from last week were.
I had a great week last week. Did pretty good in the high stakes tournaments. Came really close in like 2 of them. I was 1 play off on a lot of those tournaments. I finished 9th in the Gladiator on FanDuel, which was paid $10,000, but first prize was $200K. Just missed out on that one. 1 or 2 plays off in all my lineups.
All right, guys, turn the ringers off. Come on, be better. Pretend like you're not the generals. All right, Healy, how'd you do last week? What was takeaways from the week?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it kind of went as one would have predicted. The highest scoring total of the week kind of went off. You really needed pieces of that particular game if you wanted to take down tournaments. So it was really no surprise. I ended up actually lost a little bit, gave back a little bit on the week, cashed 1 of my 3 primary lineups. But, overall, I was happy with the week. Just didn't kind of get all the pieces together. But looking forward to week 2.
I mean, one of the big takeaways, guys, and jump in when you want to get in, from week 1 was the quarterback play. Obviously, quarterback play was fucking atrocious last week across the board. We saw fucking guys like Joe Burrow throw for fucking 30, 40 yards. So do you guys think this is a trend? Constantino, I'll go to you. You tend to study this stuff a lot. You think this is a trend? Do you think this is just a little bit of an aberration? We saw Jalen Hurts not look great last night either. I think there's a little bit of regression coming here with him to begin with, but you think there's a trend going forward? Or you think it was just rust because no one plays in the fucking preseason?
I think the
anymore?
defenses are a step ahead. The NFL is very cycle based, something new, everybody gets to it, blah, blah, blah. And there was a lot of divisional games, what you're seeing and familiar, opponents, and just a matter of defense being ahead. We'll see this week, but I don't think it's anything more than that.
All right. And Benny, anything you wanted to add on the slate last week or any takeaways, anything you thought you need to carry into this week?
Just that it's 1 week. And I don't want people to overreact to things that happen in 1 week, matchups, things like that. If there were guys that you drafted high in season-long fantasy, they're probably still going to have a bunch of big games throughout the season, even if they didn't have a big one there. You look at a guy like Josh Allen, who went up against the best defense in the world, and the New York Jets. You can't expect a guy like that to have a good game in week 1 against that defense. So, when he has some softer matchups, he's
spoken like an unbiased fan. Yeah.
Of course. When he has some softer matchups, though, guys like that are going to be better. So don't overreact to 1 week. It's not a big enough sample size for you to really pull too much out of, although there are a couple things we'll talk about.
All right, so let's start it here on the high level. Obviously, this time of year, we don't have too much weather to worry about. We're still in fucking September. We're still dealing with some nice weather. Did anyone see anything? I haven't dug into weather yet for the DFS, but just to fill you guys in, what we're going to break down each individual game from a DFS perspective. Then we're also going to add in props, bets, sides that we like on that specific game. We're not going to give you everything. We're going to give you a high-level overview, not to mention we all have at least another 24 to 48 hours of research that we're going to be doing, waiting on injury news, seeing who's starting, who's sitting, and then identifying where the opportunities are by Sunday. So make sure you get signed up at 4deep.com. You can get in as low as $40 for a week, or you can fuck with us for the rest of the year for under $300. So anyone see any big weather news this week? I haven't checked it yet.
Possibly Florida only.
Yeah, Kansas City, Jacksonville, which is the highest total game on the board, is expected to have rain, about a 60-70% chance of rain during game time.
All right, so we'll keep our eye on that. Obviously, on this show, it's a Friday night show, kind of first word for the weekend show. We don't really want to factor weather in too much, so we're not going to get too heavy, too crazy in that. How this is going to work, I'm going to go game by game. I got my two fucking absolute high-stakes assassins in Brian Healy and ScarFace. They're going to start off. We're going to kind of kick to each of you guys. Going to let you guys start it off. Leave something for us, if you can, please. And then I'll bounce around between me, Mike, Trevor, Benny, and we'll input, obviously, any games that you guys fucking love and you want to get your input in on first. Just dive in, jump in. We're going to talk over each other a little bit. We'll figure it out. We don't give a fuck. We've done this before. First game we're starting with, I'm going to fucking obviously jump in right off the bat. Green Bay at Atlanta. A lot of heat for fucking my boy. A lot of heat on my boy Desmond Ridder this week, considering he had the second highest quarterback rating in the NFL last week. 15 for 18, got the win for Atlanta. But I had 100% Drake London. Drake London last year, there's some stats, ScarFace, that you look at and you make a decision. This is where I'm going. 2 years ago was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Last 4 games of the year went fucking batshit. I rode him through the whole entire season to a first-round pick in fantasy leagues now. Drake London last year to end the season with Desmond Ridder was 333 yards, 36 targets, and I think 25 catches over those 4 games. He was like a top 5, top 10 wide receiver over that span. And throw up a goose egg. I don't care. I'm going right back to it this week. But ScarFace, leave me off. Talk to me a little bit about Atlanta here and what you think.
I mean, as far as Drake London goes, he's going to have his games. Like, we're not going to give up on him. I don't know if this is the week for it. There's a lot of better wide receiver spots on the slate that I'm going to get to. But as far as Drake London goes, I'm going to wait on that. It's a wait-and-see approach. I want to wait and see what happens with him. They're expecting Cordero Patterson back, so that's like another mouth they're going to have to feed in the running game. So, in the passing game is just non-existent at this point. I don't know if I'm going to – it's a wait-and-see approach with these guys. I'm going to wait on a lot of these guys. There's nothing that stands out to me on the Atlanta side. On the Green Bay side, I'm not too high on the passing game either. He had a good game last week. It was against one of the shittier defenses he's going to see all year.
I'm not buying that. Yeah.
That's what I think. But, the only one I have interest in on the Green Bay side is Musgrave. He's 3,200 on DK. He's 5K on FanDuel. He might see a few more targets if one of these wide receivers sits. It looks like Watson I'm not sure if he's going to be back.
Watson basically practiced in a limited fashion today. I should run through this before we start each game. Aaron Jones did not practice today. Missed another practice. Friday practice misses are not good. So we're probably looking at an Aaron Jones list Packers, and we're looking at Watson, who did practice, but in a limited fashion. I would assume if he does practice play, he's not going to be 100%. And then obviously we have Romeo Doubs, who should be totally fine. Looks like he's not on the injury designation. So I would guess ScarFace, Jones out, Watson plays but limited.
Yeah, if Jones is out, I mean, you're going to see a lot of ownership on Dylan. As far as Dylan goes, I'm not a Dylan fan at all. I mean, I'm going to have to see what ownership looks like on him. If he's going to be too high owned, too chalk, I'm probably just going to stay off him. If he's going to be a little less owned than I think he's going to be, then I might play him. But his price he's already priced up as if Jones was going to be out anyway. So it's going to be a wait and see approach on Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan's probably going to be a lot of chalk there, right? Healy this week, especially if we get the Aaron Jones fucking out. I'm assuming everyone's going to jump on that Dylan chalk.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think it's reflective just yet since Jones hasn't officially been ruled out. But Dylan, even in his limited snaps last week, I thought he looked slow. I didn't think he looked sharp at all. I would personally, I was off Jamal Williams last week in tournaments. I'll be off AJ Dillon again this week, even if Jones is out. Don't really love this game in terms of fantasy. With ScarFace, Luke Musgrave, every down tight end, I think you could certainly do worse. He's going to remain in my tight end pool while his price remains down, in that low 3K range. And on the Falcons side for me, it's the running backs in tournaments. If you want to go there, they don't project extremely well for their price. I would continue to side with Algier for $2,400 savings.
Yeah, for a big.
He got the goal line work.
By the way, I did want to chime in. Me and Bill Rupp actually have been screaming, why is Bijan Robinson going 4th and 5th overall? Algier's not going to rush for 1,000 yards.
He's not going away.
And Jerry, you're the first person I fucking heard say it, honestly, for the whole summer.
I put it down in my article.
And you put it down, you put it in, Algier, and no one fucking looked at it. This is not stopping, guys. And now with Patterson coming back, even 2 or 3 touches from Patterson, could be a problem, especially with that Joker formation at the goal line. So I just think 8K is a little bit too high for Bijan, even though he's a fucking star and he's going to put up numbers every week.
Yeah, until we see him get some of them red zone carries, it's going to be tough to pay that price tag. So I'll take the discount if you wanted to go to somebody again. This is a 40-point total. There's much better game environments. Desmond Ridder, Tommy, cut your losses now. You've
no, dude, no, he's not a fantasy guy, bro. He's a card market guy. What did I say? I said I need him to win, keep the job, and win. Exactly what I needed to happen. And this is. I
mean
perfect.
What 3-yard ADOT?
I don't care. I just need, dude. He's priced as a 3rd-round guy who's going to get benched in the 5th round. He doesn't have
Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. He's got to be able to push the ball down the field.
It's the card market. It's not the DFS market. It's not the I don't drive him on my seasonal team. It's just the card market. Trust me on this one. I got this. Get in and Jared Stidham too. Constantino, anything here?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Take your Ritter cards and put them in your wheels, your spokes of your bicycle.
You guys are fucking assholes.
That's what they're going to be worth. And he took a shot at me because I fucking drafted Bijan Robinson in that spot. And I'm going to go a little contrarian here. I disagree with you guys a little bit because I have seen reports and with my own eyes what Ritter does, and they're going to limit him. They're going to keep him to check downs, dump offs, and that's where Bijan does come in. I think he's a little contrarian. He should be a good GPP play. I think he gets, again, I said it last week. I said it like McCaffrey type usage, 6-8 receptions, and the touchdowns will come. But he's a great route runner, and he's only going to see more time, I think, as the season goes on, and he's going to be the check down option. I mean, Drake London didn't even get off the bus. So as of now, for me, I'm still on Bijan. And I think he's a little different because I don't think people will pay up. Last thing I'm going to say, I don't want any parts of these, but Musgrave is the guy, man, especially for cash games. 3,200. He got 4 targets last week as was, but now with Aaron Jones going away and hobbled Watson and Dylan getting the workhorse running back only, I think the targets pick up for him. So at 3,200, I think he's good.
All right. Benny, anything here? And guys, if we don't have anything, if I don't go to you on this game, I'll get to you on the future games. Don't worry. I'm a master host. I'm going to fucking make sure everyone gets fed. I'm like Desmond.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to make sure to spread it around.
I agree with a lot of what was said already here. So let me just add a little something from the betting angle here. Tyler Algier is plus 175 to score a touchdown. Bijan is plus 105. Tyler Algier had 4 red zone snaps and Bijan only had 3. So if you're going to bet one of those guys to score a touchdown, I'd rather bet Tyler Algier at plus 175 on DraftKings.
I don't mind here, Trev, a little Cordarrelle Patterson plus 400 to get in the box here. It got that Joker formation, didn't play last week. People are already worried a little bit. Oh, Algier cut into Bijan. Wait, dude, they didn't. Cordarrelle Patterson is a fucking red zone monster. I think we may see a little fucking Cordarrelle Patterson at fucking quarterback with Bijan and Algier behind him at the goal line. May see some of those kind of triple option there. But you like anything here, Trev?
Please address me as Goat.
Goat. Sorry, Goat. Sir Goat.
So
Goat millions.
Listen, I'm off this game. I don't like this game. I think both teams are trash right now. I do like Aaron Jones.
What the fuck? Do not say the Falcons are trash. The Falcons are the most underrated team in the entire NFL. Stop that immediately.
I mean, okay, great.
Green Bay's trash.
I'm just not on it. I don't like this game at all. I do like a healthy Aaron Jones. I don't think he's healthy. So I'm staying right away from this game, period.
All right, let's go out here. Let's start with Las Vegas and Buffalo next. Trev, I'm going to start with you. Any sneaky plays here that you like or anything you want to get at?
Las Vegas, Buffalo, this is the game. I mean, Allen, all over Allen this week.
This seems like a Trevor all-in Allen 100% owned quarterback spot.
Button fucking clickers all over the place. Diggs is going for touchdowns. They're going to be forced to come back with Devontae Adams. Davis.
So is that your core build right now? Is it Allen, Diggs, and Devontae Adams? Because that's what I put you on. That's why I kicked you for this game.
Yeah. Well, that's one of them. Listen, that's why I play 3 lineups. Chalky, I don't care. I've talked about it in the past. Chalk isn't always bad. Chalk goes off. I'll beat you with my smart plays from, in the back. So I'm all in on this game. I love this game a lot.
All right, Healy. Obviously, a lot of people are going back to Josh Allen. I have him projected at probably 15, 17% owned. I don't know if you're in the same ballpark there, but it seems like that kind of fucking contrarian, not contrarian spot. Everyone thinks they're being cute and they're not. But what do you like in this game?
Yeah, I certainly I do like Josh Allen. He projects well. He's 7,900 on DraftKings, which, there's plenty of options if you needed to save some money. But I think this is a good spot, and I think Buffalo beats them via the air. I don't like how James Cook really looked. I think Allen is going to kind of put up some gaudy numbers in this game. I think they'll score several through the air. Diggs is certainly the optimal pairing in this one. The interesting piece here is Gabe Davis. I think this is either he's going to get right spot or he's going to be working his way out of the kind of the lineup and down the depth chart. So I'm personally on the side of Gabe Davis kind of steps up, has a pretty big game here. So I think you can get a little different by either double stacking or using Gabe Davis as a pairing partner with Allen in this one. And in terms of bringbacks, I do think the Raiders can keep this game somewhat competitive, and they're going to do so by just feeding Josh Jacobs in this one. I think he's in line for 25 plus touches. I think most are going to go to Adams as the run back in this one. And tough to argue with that. With Jacoby Myers out, should be some additional volume that they pepper his way. But I think this is Jacob's spot. We saw the Jets kind of gut this defense on the ground, and we know that Raiders are willing to feed him the ball 25, 30 times. So I think this is a really good contrarian Josh Jacobs spot for me this week.
ScarFace, for me, Devontae Adams at 14-15% owned, which I'm seeing him come in at, seems a little bit fucking ridiculous in this spot. No Jacoby Myers, as we just mentioned. Where are you at?
I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. I mean, the key in this game right here, everybody's going to play Allen, Diggs, Devontae. They're all good plays. Like Healy mentioned, the leverage spots in these games are the secondary pieces. Gabe Davis, leverage spot. Everybody's going to play Diggs. Davis can easily catch a bomb. He can catch a 2. We've seen him catch 4 in playoff games. So Gabe Davis is definitely a leverage spot that I'll be going to. And on the Raiders side, just like Healy said, Jacobs is going to get 20, 25 touches in this game. It's easy with the Raiders. It's either Devontae or it's Jacobs. If you think this game is going to stay close, play Jacobs. If you think they're going to be playing from behind, you play Devontae.
All right. And that if you were going to play one guy in your main lineup here, how exposed to this game are you going to be?
I'll be exposed to this game for sure. Diggs is going to be in a lot of my lineups. And in some lineups, I'm going to be fading Diggs and playing Gabe Davis. And I'll probably be bringing it back with Devontae or Jacobs.
All right. I'm not – I know Diggs had a good game, Constantino, 10 for 102 and a touchdown, 13 targets. I think they'll kind of have their way with this, and I do like Kincaid as an additional option there. We saw 4 catches from rookie tight end in his first start. That should only improve. What are you looking at, Mike?
I love, actually, it's funny that you guys said it. I mean, I love Allen and Diggs. I think it's a blow-up spot. I mean, when you really put it in perspective, Diggs had 13 targets, 10 catches, 100 yards versus Sauce Gardner and the Jets, which is also a divisional opponent and tough. This Raider team, man, they played the Broncos. Now they're getting a pissed-off Bills squad at home. I think it's a show-out spot for Allen and Diggs. They would be my higher spend-up options. And then with Myers ruled out, I think Hunter Renfrow is a little sneaky at 3,900. He had no target last week, no game, no play. Now you have Myers look great. He got a big target share. I think Renfro's a good spot. They're going to be in a positive passing script, and they're going to need to throw the ball because I think they're going to be behind. So 3,900 for Renfrow is my play for this game in addition to Allen and Diggs.
Benny, where did that fucking 10 target game out of Jacoby Myers come from?
I mean, he's had 10 target games when he was in New England, and he's got Jimmy G as his quarterback. So I guess maybe those two just already had, a little bit of a connection there. But I don't hate the Renfrow play either at 3,900. I think he's a guy who's going to have to soak up some more targets there. But I agree with what Healy was saying before. Josh Jacobs is the play here for me. I mean, 22 of the 24 running back touches is what he had last game. So this is a guy who they're going to give the ball to, and, it's kind of what we see every year. People forget this is the guy that led the league in rushing yards last year. Like, this isn't some nobody. This is a guy who they give a lot of volume to, and if they're going to have any chance to keep this game close, they're going to have to do it on the ground. And we all saw what Breece Hall did to this defense last week. So Jacobs makes a lot of sense. Dude,
I just got a hard on. Did you see my desk raise when you said Breece Hall?
I definitely saw it.
You did, right? Like more than the Kelly shirt. Yeah, that was hot. Trev, give me a sneaky play out of this game. You got anything? You like Renfrow? What do you like here? God, he sounds so much better on mute, doesn't he? It's so much more tolerable on mute, isn't it?
Women say that to me often. Listen, I think a sneaky play might be Knox. Every time you turn your head, Knox catches 2 touchdowns for 20 yards, and you're like, all right, I guess Vegas won because we weren't on him. So Knox, why not?
I mean, I'm a Kincaid guy. I think Kincaid's going to keep getting better. I love the 4 for 26 right out the gate. Caught all 4 targets. I think he's going to keep improving. I think he's a tight end who can actually expand the field. So that's the only reason I wouldn't go there. But I will say that Devontae Adams is in my made lineup. I think this game is going to be spread out pretty much more than people think. I think that Allen Diggs combo is going to be chalk as fuck. And I'm probably going to be avoiding it. By the way, in the last game, Drake London, $5,000. I'm in on it. I know everyone else is waiting. I want that. I want that Drake London 5,000. I want that cheap price. Go, Benny.
Hey, one thing I want to add here. Both Knox and Kincaid played 80% of snaps last week. So
yes,
you could actually
a lot of
be
two
right
tight
on that.
Yes.
Yeah, you could both be right.
Yes, I love that. Kincaid is a rookie tight end, but there's so much upside there, guys. I'm telling you, this guy has top 5 tight end potential. By the way, I said in the last game, my favorite bet of the week, I usually don't give that out here for free because we usually don't do this for free. Atlanta Falcons, straight account dump on this, especially with Jones out and Watson questionable. Account dump on the Atlanta Falcons this week. They will win this game by 10+. We're probably going to outline this. Cincinnati, Baltimore. Mike, let's start with you here. Burrow, very bad showing last week. Lamar Jackson, who was my all-in guy, thought he'd have a chip on his shoulder, thought he'd come out looking to make a statement. Not much there. Didn't really work out for me, but don't hate the process I had there. I just don't like the results. But what are we looking at here? Divisional game.
You ever see the Zoom where the guy thought he was off and he got the tissues and the cream and he walked up and everybody's yelling, "No!"
Yeah, was that you? Were you just going to jerk off right now?
Never see that? No, but
it's usually me when I'm like sneaking a bump and no one's like.
Of course, Tommy goes, "Mike, start here."
Well, Mike, let me just explain this to you, Mike. But Mike, let me just explain this to you. All 6 of us are on camera at all times.
All right, I'm ready to fucking go.
You're not sneaking anything from the.
All right, again, I like something called the eye test, and I use it a lot with the UFC. You know what I mean? Something as simple as using your eye.
You've been using it to many dollars.
If anybody, watched any of the snaps from that Ravens game, I mean, the Zay Flowers connection just jumped off the page, off your television. Somebody beat me to it last week. I don't remember who it was. Tommy, Jerry, Pat, Healy rather. Somebody beat me to it. I liked them last week ahead of time, but now that I even saw it with my own eyes, I love it even more. So I love Lamar and Flowers here. I'm off of the Bengals now, guys. I have to note that the best wide receiver matchups versus secondary this week are Chase and Higgins. I mean, they have great ratings. I don't like these divisional games. I think they tend to play low most of the times. But the Flowers, you can't ignore them. So I like Flowers a lot.
Jerry, what are your thoughts?
It's just because I'm changing the channel or making a trend. Zay Flowers is my fucking all-in seasonal play. I fucking love Zay Flowers.
Let him have it, Healy, for getting up.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to keep getting up and coming
back. It was evident. That connection was
Healy, go.
Evident. He went to
Zay Flowers is, listen, here, the advantage that I have in early in the season in DFS here is I watched all these guys for the last 2 years in college. I'm a college football guy. I'm not an NFL. Like, I love NFL, but I love college more. Zay Flowers is a fucking superstar. So, Healy, what do you like here?
Yeah, he's the only guy I've noted here on the Ravens side that I have interest in. I did like how they even manufactured him some like running back touches last week. So they're willing to get him the ball, in really any kind of spot. So that certainly raises his floor. So he's the Raven I'm looking at. The Bengals side's pretty interesting.
Got to be chalk, right, Healy, at 5K? I mean, the reason I like Drake London this week, Healy, not to cut you off, is he's the same price as Zay Flowers. Who the fuck isn't going to Zay Flowers? Drake London has to be like no owned, and Flowers has to be chalk. No.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here while we continue. Zay Flowers around 10%.
That's it.
Nothing crazy.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty spread out this week in that range. I think there's a lot of options.
That's pretty low.
There's a lot of guys right in that range. So the Bengals side's interesting. Burrow's price on FanDuel specifically is really cheap. He projects really, really well there. Still a strong play on DraftKings for me. The spot last week was tough. That Cleveland Browns defense, as we talked about, really strong, really good pass rush. They're going to force you to get the ball out quick. And with minimal to no snaps in the preseason, the rust really showed for Burrow. I think this week the Ravens, they're really banged up on defense, lost a few key pieces last week as well. The pass rush isn't the same even coming into the season. So I think this is a nice spot here for Burrow to bounce back. Chase, Higgins, you can flip coins. Chase's price is under 8K. You're rarely going to see that. He does project to be a little over 2 times more owned than T. Higgins. But depending on your construction, I'm really fine with pairing him with either one of those two this week.
ScarFace.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clear bounce back spot for Burrow and for Chase. I love Chase, especially here. I think Higgins is going to come in lower owned, so I don't mind going to him either. But Chase is the one with the upside. Also, I don't mind throwing Irv Smith into some Burrow stacks. So if you go Burrow, Chase, and Irv Smith is cheap on both sides, so you can easily fit that stack. As far as Mixon goes, you guys know how I feel about Mixon. Mixon at home is a thing. I always play Mixon at home. He's great leverage off those Burrow Chase stacks, which I don't know what Mixon's ownership's coming in at, but I guarantee you he's going to be a lot less owned than Chase and Burrow. So if you want to get off
I think he's probably going to be one of the highest owned backs, right, Healy?
I don't think so. Maybe on FanDuel, but I don't think so on DraftKings.
I have him on DraftKings. Yeah, I have him on DraftKings around 20%. So
right, yeah, I think he's
not crazy, but it's one of the higher ones from a projection standpoint right now.
I mean, you've seen Mixon at home. I mean, there was a game last year we had 5 touchdowns against Carolina. I mean, he's capable of doing slate breaking things. So I'm not saying he's going to have 5 touchdowns in this game, but when everybody's playing the passing game, the leverage is always to go with the running game. So Mixon is definitely somebody I'm going to have in my player pool. As far as the Baltimore side goes, this is the cheapest I've seen Lamar, I think, on FanDuel for sure. He's like 7,600.
Yeah,
normally I would be off of Lamar when he's in the 9K range, but at 7,600, you got Dobbins out. Like he's gonna be running a little bit more in this game than he did in the last game. And I mean, with his rushing attempts and Andrews coming back, I think he has a little bit more upside than he did last week. As far as the receivers go, I'm out on him this week because Andrews is coming back, so he'll be spreading the ball around a little bit more. But I'm not going to be paying the Andrews price. There's too much value on the slate with tight ends. But I don't mind rolling Lamar out naked in cash or in GPPs.
Yeah, this is one of those games in a division rivals. This was a cheat code for me for a while when Burrow first came up. Remember, Burrow went for like 400 and 500 in back-to-back games versus the Ravens in like 2021, and then I played him 22 and 23, and he did like 200 a game. So I'm not too high on this game, Benny. Here, I could see some angles, but there's not really anything that's making me crazy outside of Zay Flowers at 5K. Seems interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Flowers because, again, he had all those targets last week without Andrews, right? But who is Lamar's favorite target? Who is Lamar's favorite target been for years? Well, it might be his favorite target in week 1, but with Andrews back, I'm a little worried I'm a little worried how much he's going to get there. But there's one other thing I wanted to throw out there, and that's there's a negative correlation between Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So if you're going to stack up Cincinnati, you have to use a secondary piece, whether it's a Tyler Boyd or an Irv Smith. There's actually a lot of correlation in games that Burrow has had big games with Chase, where Tyler Boyd is also the other guy there.
Right.
So
it's never those two. It's never Higgins and Chase.
Rarely is
never together.
Ever. And that's why ScarFace went Irv. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
one
always
or the
play
other.
Chase
so you
naked
pick one
with
of them.
Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah, pick one of them and then pick one of the other cheaper options, whether it's Boyd or Irv Smith to go with them. I kind of like the Chase Boyd combination there because people always forget about Tyler Boyd. And again, Tyler Boyd's the guy that catches like a 50-yard touchdown
he's in a
pass
3K.
one game.
He's like fucking 3,900 or something.
He only needs one. He only needs one long catch and he pays it off. Yeah, very cheap. So I like throwing Tyler Boyd in there on those stacks as well to get a little more because you're going to need Burrow to go for like 350 and 3 or 4 to win a tournament. If one of those goes to Boyd and then the rest goes to Chase, you're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, and I misspoke before, guys. I said the highest wide receiver ratings were Chase and Higgins. It was actually Chase and Boyd. I made a mistake. I just wanted to point that out. So
you like Boyd. All right, so Boyd at 3,800.
One of the best wide receiver matchups in the NFL this week. And I wanted to make sure I clarified that.
That's good. Yeah, and Boyd's going to be no owned. So he may be the receiver.
For the record, it's 99.8. His advantage matchup, according to Pro Football Focus.
He will not be Yeah, he will not be no-owned in tournaments I'm in. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Yeah. Trevor, who's
It's-
your sleeper here?
You know, it starts this week. Button clickers galore, 100 yards and touchdown. Tommy, you know all the fuck about
I love it. I love
You
it.
know
I've
all
watched
the-
I've watched Trevor win $50,000 on a Sunday in DFS and lose it all back in blackjack at 2 a.m. live on the voice chat. Hold on. I have someone here for me. I'll call you back.
Oh, that's amazing. So I'll finish my thought. It
In
starts
the middle of the roundtable, visitors.
100 yards and touchdown. You know, my button clickers out there, really popular. Love it. You know, when they're over 74 yards, tease them up to 100. A lot of times these guys, and Chase is one of them. From here on out for the rest of the year, I will have a button clicker with Chase in 100 and Jefferson in 100. Let's see how many times it can hit. What do you think of that, Healy? Push it.
I like
What do
it.
you think of that?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Those two consistently kind of go out there and jam for 100. So certainly like the strategy, and I'm sure the odds, you're getting them at nice plus money, and you're including them with some other plus money plays. So nothing wrong with that.
I love it. Healy, take over. Take us to the next game. I don't know where we're at. I'm starting to get drunk.
No problem. Let's go to the another appealing game, in my opinion, the Seahawks at the Lions this week. Jerry, I'll flip it to you first. Game inside the dome here. Seattle kind of coming off a letdown. Lions off of a nice long layoff, playing on opening night Thursday. What is your interest in this one?
So, I mean, we saw the same game last year that shot out, and I think they played it in Detroit also. I think this is a different game than we saw last year. I'm still interested in the Detroit side, but on the Seattle side, I think we're starting to see Geno coming back down to earth a little bit. He didn't look good last week, and now they got to travel to Detroit, who's had a week and a half off to prepare for this game. I don't think these Detroit home games are going to be like the Coors Field of scoring that we saw last year. This defense is a lot more improved. I think the running game is improved as well, and I think they're going to be controlling the clock a lot more. I still like the Detroit offense a lot here. I mean, we saw what Puka and Tutu did to Seattle last week. I mean, what the fuck do you think Amon-Ra and Reynolds are going to do with these guys, you know? Goff can easily carve this team up. I think you're going to see Gibbs get into the end zone for his first touchdown. I don't think if you stack this game, you need to bring it back with anybody from Seattle. I think Detroit can run away with this game. Amon-Ra is definitely the best play in this game, and I mean he's going to be chalk, but I mean it's kind of hard not to play him. There's going to be a lot of value on this slate, so Amon-Ra for sure. If you're going to stack him, I like Goff to Amon-Ra with Reynolds, and I don't think a bring back is necessary in this game either.
Benny, what about your thoughts here?
So two big things I want to point out. One is that Seattle's playing without both of their tackles this week. So to me, I think Seattle's going to try to run the ball a lot more in this game. So Kenneth Walker is somebody who I'm kind of looking at here because, again, if you're playing without your tackles, and I agree that the Detroit defense is actually pretty good. So they're going to be able to get some pressure, especially if there's no tackles there. So I think they're going to try to run the ball a little more and play a lot more conservatively. So the only guy I'm looking at on Seattle is actually Kenneth Walker. Played 63% of the snaps last week, took a lot of the running stuff there. We didn't get a lot out of Zach Carbonet. A lot more people were expecting him to get more, and he really didn't. And then on the other side of this game as well, I mean, Josh Reynolds is somebody who's projecting to be highly owned this week, and I do not get that at all. Like, do not play Josh Reynolds chalk. That is not something that you're going to do, that you're going to be happy about at the end of the day. I think Detroit does win this game. I think they win it pretty easily, and I do not want to play a secondary receiver on this Detroit Lions team.
Mike, how about you?
You have no idea what just happened.
I obviously one of my favorite games of the week. I mean, Jerry brought up last year. I mean, 48-45. I mean, a lot has changed, but in a good way too. I mean, you added more playmakers, in my opinion, with Janigma on
don't call Jackson Smith and Jigma JSN my star.
My favorite play in this spot is actually, I think it's the perfect setup to what Jerry said earlier. It's a leverage spot play. I love Gibbs here at 6,200. If you watched last week, again, he passed the eye test where he jumped off the screen. I said it in chat. He looked like Chris Johnson. He was hitting the line, bouncing out. I think he gets a lot of play here. And the way that the game script goes, in my opinion, is Detroit blows their doors off, like we were saying, right? And then I think you're going to see a lot of Gibbs, and you're going to see a dejected team on the other side of the ball. And with his speed, they put their head down or look the wrong way for 1 second. dude is fucking pieced out. So I think with a big lead, he's going to get a lot of burn as the young man here. He has pass catching upside. He has, so he could participate in getting the lead. And I think he could participate in closing the game out. And I don't think he's going to be popular at 6,200 on DraftKings. So I like Gibbs here, and then pretty much mix and match all pieces of this game, including the Seahawks wide receivers.
Yeah, you got to feel Jahmyr Gibbs is going to just keep getting more involved and more involved every week. Every single play that you saw where you went, wow, in that first game last week.
Get him before the blow-up game where everybody else gets on.
Dude, if you have Montgomery and seasonal, trade him now. If you have Jahmyr Gibbs or you're looking for Jahmyr Gibbs, get him now.
Benny, put the glasses on. Put the glasses back on, Benny.
Yeah, put the glasses on. Dude, I had my landscaper just show up my house at fucking 8:45 in the morning to try and upsell me again, Benny. I was on staycation. Mike, my landscaper.
It's evening, Tommy. It's evening.
8:40 at night, whatever it is. He's trying to upsell me to get more landscaping done weekly because I have it done bi-weekly, and he just came for an upsell.
Tell him Paulie Walnuts is your uncle.
I might have to fucking hire this guy. That's dedication, dude. You're ringing my doorbell at 9 p.m. That's upset. I mean, we all know winter's coming. I think he thinks I don't. Did anyone else need to contribute on this Detroit-Seattle game here before we move on?
I do.
Go get it.
Do it.
Detroit is fucking good. Watch out for him. I think this is a slam dunk bet of the week. Detroit's going to.
I like it.
I took them in my survivor pool.
I like it. I got a parlay.
Watch.
I got a money line parlay I have out with Detroit.
They are good. I mean, I wouldn't even put them in for a Super Bowl. I mean, they're good.
Let's relax. Let's relax there.
I do.
Their coach is retarded and their quarterback's
record
retarded,
this.
I think
he's a great coach, game manager, and golf. Yeah. Tons of talent all over the field. Dome team.
One of the worst.
I like him.
One of the most overrated coaches in the entire NFL. He's great to motivate players. Terrible in-game decision making late in games. Kind of reminds me of. Says me, who fucking was the king of Sean McVay, is overrated back when everyone loved him. This is kind of part two here. Anything else on Detroit, Seattle here? I'm actually not on this game that much. Obviously, I'm on the Sun God where available. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a nice little fun kind of stab if not many people are going to be on him, but 6,300 seems a little bit too high. Geno Smith is tough to ignore on any slate at 5,900, just given that DK Metcalf, Lockett, Smith and Jigba, so many weapons there. But my sneaky kind of pivot from the chalk at tight end, which I think is going to end up being the Green Bay tight end over there, is Laporta. I love Laporta. I don't think anyone's going to be on him this week for just a few $100s more in the 300s. I think this kid's going to be a top 5 or 10 tight end, so I don't hate Laporta at 3,900 if you need a filler. We good here on Detroit?
Yep.
Indy, Houston, not much to be excited about here, but Healy, start us off.
Man, this one, I think this one can save us a little bit of time. I think this game's pretty simple. Like, if you want to get a piece of it, I think you play either Michael Pittman or Nico Collins, and that's about it. Like, I don't think there's much to be excited about here. I know Richardson, had a decent game and does offer a decent floor in terms of quarterback, but I think other quarterbacks in his price range are going to bring more upside. I don't see a ton of upside with his passing volume, and I think you can get most of his production through Pittman anyway. And similar on the Texans side. Don't like any of these running games. They've continued to display committees. I know Moss may be back or will be back here this week.
It will be. But
still not a spot. I think Richardson being there just caps his potential upside as well. Could lose some goal line runs. Just not a spot I'm really interested in two just bad football teams.
I think I broke the record on calls that I liked last week. I mean, listen, I did get Rashid Shaheed, who was 3K. It was my all-in play and probably won some people some tournaments. But we try to predict touches here, right? ScarFace, that's one of the main things we do. You can't predict production. You got to predict touches, right?
Right.
Deion Jackson at fucking 4,100 last week, I loved. Got 18 touches.
But he fumbled twice. That's what fucked him.
Fumbled twice and had 28 total yards from those 18 touches. But I was getting killed for it. I'm like, listen, guys, 4K, he got 18 touches. And Cam Akers, another one, 23 touches, 29 yards. So I probably had two of my favorite plays last week got more touches than I could have imagined and underproduced more than I could have imagined. So I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing going forward, but anything we like here? I mean, Nico Collins, I don't even know if we could really assess this game right now because CJ Stroud's questionable. So we're looking at CJ Stroud, who obviously fell in love with Nico Collins last week with 11 targets. We didn't even know if he's going to be the quarterback. Maybe the long neck giraffe show here with Davis Mills.
I'm on the Houston side, especially like with the defense. I mean, they looked pretty good, I think, against Baltimore on the road last week. I think they're going to give Richardson a hard time. I love defenses at home against rookie quarterbacks, and I think we could see a few turnovers. So I'm all out on the Indy players. I'm not playing any of those guys. On the Houston side, I think you're going to see them targeting Nico Collins for some big plays downfield, and I think they're going to be running a lot with Dameon Pierce. I love his price on both sides. He's pretty cheap. And I think we can see him approach close to 20 touches in this game if they take over.
Yeah. Anyone, I mean, I'm not going to even go around. Does anyone have any interest in anyone here? If you do, speak up now or forever hold your peace.
I don't hate Dameon Pierce.
Millie Maker winner. Richardson to Pittman. Some Jackson, some Pierce.
All right, now you're getting crazy.
No, but
Trevor, you're gonna say Millie Maker winner, pick two.
Traditionally,
pick fucking two. So you start off good, right? You start off good. That's your role. We put you in this suit.
He's got to win the Millie. He drinks
Millie Maker winner. Here's here's how this goes. Let me just fucking take two for you. Millie Maker winner. Richardson Pittman. Done. Then you start adding Jackson and Pearson.
Dude,
what the fuck are you doing?
This game's
going to have fucking 10-7.
This is trash of the week and goes to the moon.
All right, well, pick a player. You're not putting all them in your lineup.
Yeah, game stack.
Oh, my God. I mean, now it's going to win. Whenever I shit on Trevor, it wins. So now, congratulations. Now Houston Indy just went fucking 43-29.
Look at the past of these games. When Houston plays Indy, they score a shit ton of points, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
You shut up. Stop
all
talking.
Right.
Legitimately, hold on, real quick.
Hold on,
go ahead, Healy. Go ahead.
I was going to say this game does project to have more plays than the average game this week.
Right. It could go up, but you can't say to play Deion Jackson and fucking all. You don't need all that. If you play fucking Richardson, Pittman, and bring it back with Nico or something, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't need five of them.
I like Dameon Pierce a little bit here. I mean, listen, Houston is actually favored in this game. They're at home in this game. I like running backs that are favored and at home.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pierce could wind up having a 20 carry game here. And if he has 20 carries, we saw it last year. This is a guy that can get 100 yards. He can get himself into the end zone once or twice. And he's kind of cheap on DraftKings relative to the other guys that are around him. So you're getting him at sub 6K. I don't hate Dameon Pierce here. I'm going to have a little bit of him in my mind.
I think it is a fun.
Is he going to be in Goat's Millie Maker lineup?
Of course he will. Goat's going to fucking do the dumbest shit in the world and fucking win somehow.
But Benny, any concern? Like Singletary mixed in for early down work. Boone took some passing downs last week.
I mean, yes, I think there's a little concern there, but I mean, still, Pierce is coming off an injury. They're going to start working him in even more than he did. He was still the main guy there on that team. So, again, if you're looking at somebody, and then again, we've seen Singletary in the past, right? Like if they're down inside the 5, he's not going to be the guy they're giving the carries to there. And if you're going to win a DFS tournament with a guy like Dameon Pierce, what you really need for him to get is 15 to 20 touches and for him to get in the box at least once or twice. And if he does that, I think he's 5,800. That's a guy that can get you 25 fantasy points, give you that 4 or 5X that you're looking for. So, again, am I saying he's in every one of my lineups? No, but of all the stuff that's going on in this game, he's the guy that I like the most.
Yeah,
I love pairing him. Stacking him with the Houston defense makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, so 2 points here, obviously, for you guys. Deion Jackson was a play of mine last week at 4K, 18 touches, fell through, but the touches were there. Zach Moss is playing this week. We don't know what his involvement's going to be. We don't know how healthy he is. He's obviously not 100% healthy if he didn't play last week. Could be the Zach Moss show. Could be a split situation. Deion Jackson fumbled twice. He could be in fucking completely in the doghouse, and we see fucking Funk come in and carry the ball 10 times. Stay away from the backfield in this situation. Don't hate taking some shots on this game as contrarian Millie Maker type plays, but don't go crazy. A lot of people in the chat, guys. I don't know if you've seen this. The whole chat is begging me to talk about the bets tonight. That I was all over Air Force and they're up 29-0 in the second quarter. Do you guys see all this in the chat? It's crazy. If you're watching on replay, just trust me. The chat's going nuts asking me to talk about it. And Rays -130 are up 7-1 against the Baltimore Orioles. Had that -1. I mean, the chat won't stop. Just don't look at the chat and just assume I'm telling the truth. But yeah, everyone's going nuts about how much money I'm winning them today in betting. Let's move over to no one. Literally 0 people asked me to do that. Let's go to Kansas City, Jacksonville. I'm going to start with you, ScarFace. This is a sexy little game here. Got a little bit of weather. We're going to ignore the weather and just play this one straight. What do you think?
I mean, you got to love Mahomes coming off of that loss. I mean, but call me crazy, but if Kelsey does play in this game, which I think he's going to play, I'm going right back to Sky Moore. I mean, his role in this offense depends on defenses focusing on covering Kelsey. So this is where I think he's going to be open for those targets. And he's still cheap on both sides. And I think a lot of people are going to be off him after the stinker he put up last week. So I love Sky Moore this week. This is the week to play him. If he shits the bed this week, then you'll be off of him. But I'm going to go right back to him this week.
Played like 80% of the snaps. I mean, he was on the field the whole fucking time. I mean, you can't listen. You can
his plays are going to come when Kelsey is on the field. Right. When Kelsey's off the field, the coverage goes towards him. When Kelsey's on the field, it's a lot different. So I like using him as a nice value play. As far as Kelsey goes, I don't think I'm ready to pay the price on him yet until I see how productive he's going to be coming off that injury. I mean, he could very well have like a few catches and a touchdown, but when you're paying that price, you're gonna need a ceiling game from Kelsey when you pay that Kelsey price. And I just don't see it coming with him coming off the injury. I don't know how severe it is or how healthy he is. On the Jacksonville side, I'm going to be on the Lawrence stacks all year. Double stacking Lawrence in tournaments is going to be a strategy I'm always going to be using. This week, I love pairing him with Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. I know Ridley's there now, and I know Kirk wasn't involved as much last week. But they're paying this guy $18 million a year, and he's going to have his games, and I think this is one of them. I mean, he plays mostly out of the slot where KC is pretty weak, and in both games that they played him last year against them, he smashed them. So overall, it's definitely a game I think you could stack in tournaments. And I love the Jacksonville double stack with Lawrence in this game.
All right. And guys, if you have any questions in the chat, Benny's going to be keeping an eye on the chat. He could actually do that without looking because he has his glasses on. Drew Ingles, Hoffman said all the units. Drew Ingles just said, this man just says stuff and assumes he's right. LOL. I'm assuming that's about me. That seems like a Tommy comment. Seems like something that would apply to me. But if not, make it about me because that literally is me. Healy.
I love Tommy.
Healy, I'm in the fucking ScarFace camp here with Sky Moore, except I'm going the other motherfucking way. I'm taking the dude no one wants to go near, and that's Kadarius Toney. Mahomes knows. Listen, if Toney catches the balls that are thrown to him, he probably fucking breaks a slate last week and scores multiple times. I'm going right back to Toney because I know Mahomes is weak at wide receiver. I like Rashee Rice. He needs Toney. He's got to get him back on track. I'm going Kadarius Toney here at 4,600 at 2% off.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're pretty much playing roulette whoever you pair Mahomes with. If you're not pairing him with Kelsey, they just run so many freaking running backs, receiver. Like you see 7, 8 different guys coming out there lining up. It certainly makes it a challenge to confidently pair him. But to your point, both these guys are cheap enough to where, you know, sure, if they score a touchdown, go for 70 yards, that's probably enough. If Mahomes throws 3-4 others, if you're pairing with Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, it just isn't a game.
Or you can get fucking weird and play them both, Healy.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Not Millie Maker, obviously. That's not going to be your main lineup.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I prefer some of the other games we've talked about ahead of this one for DFS. I think there's going to be points. I think playing a piece or two from each side of the ball is perfectly viable here. But I think the challenges for this Chiefs offense and just that massive rotation of bodies, I think they're going to continue to struggle a little bit to put points on the board. So I actually like the Jags outright in this particular game. Right. And using a piece from either side and its receivers for me, a little bit of interest, but I do like the Jags outright in this game.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Constantino, what do you like in there?
I don't see. I mean, first off, Kelsey looks good. I saw him warming up just even before the show. He's tworking on the sidelines.
I feel like you would be the person. Kelsey,
if you're in that game last week and you're watching, I mean, Pat Mahomes, I mean, how are you not looking for Kelsey? If he's healthy and on the field, he's going to get peppered with targets. Possibly, like somebody said earlier, they don't want to spend up yet. That might be even a better reason to take him and just own that tight end position this week in DFS. I mean, he's going to get the ball, right? I mean, it's a complete volume play.
It's probably only going to be like 10% owned, right?
Yeah, and then on the top of that, if I'm looking to get really outside the box, obviously Rashee Rice got a lot of volume, and he proved that he can take on more, and he was reliable. A lot of people are talking about Justin Ross coming out of there for a GPP flyer at $3,000. He's going to be looking to go elsewhere. I don't know if Tony gets his confidence back yet, as confident as you do. I also like ETN here in this spot. We talked earlier about volume and touches, right? Well, he's the de facto sole running back who also gets a high volume of targets and receptions. And against Kansas City, I mean, if this game does shoot out or whatever it is, I think he's a good volume-based play too, touch-wise. So I like ETN here as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you, as someone who follows college football heavily and has followed Justin Ross is not the guy. It's Sky Moore, it's Tony, it's Rashee Rice. I know it's going to be tempting there, but I think he's going right back to Tony, Benny. ScarFace thinks he's going back to Sky Moore, which I like. What do you think?
I think if Travis Kelce plays, he's going to Travis Kelce. Like, let's not overthink this. That's his guy. We saw how bad everybody else was last week.
Yeah.
Do I want to play Travis Kelce?
You might see 37 targets, right?
I mean, yeah, like we've seen this over and over again over the years, right? Like Travis Kelce is his guy. Now, do I want to play Travis Kelce? No, I think he's a little too expensive. You're going to need him to put up like a 40 burger in order for him to be the guy that helps you to win.
Twice.
You need him in the box twice for sure.
You need him to have one of those like 4 touchdown games like he had last year in order for him to pay off that price when you have all these like 3K guys you can play on DraftKings who could get a touchdown. So I'm not playing Kelce, but I do think, all these other guys that Kansas City has, it's Russian roulette that you're playing. If you're making 150 lineups and you can spread it around, sure. But, nobody can tell me they know where it's going to go. You know who the guy who had the most?
Me and ScarFace can. Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney.
Well, it was Sky Moore and Marquez Valdez-Scantling were the two guys that were on the field.
Well, Scantling does that though. He's that fucking like snap fucking monster. Like who was the guy I'm thinking of who used to fucking Zay Jones, right? And Zay Jones was like the DFS darling because he'd run fucking 1,000 air yards and be on the field for 90% of the snaps and end up with
again Zay Jones. Zay Jones is another guy in this game we could talk about. He played 81% of the snaps last week. He played 81% of the snaps last week. I agree. I don't want to play Zay Jones either, but I'm just saying when we're looking at the guys that are out there, like I don't understand why.
But do we think Christian Kirk's going fucking 1 for 9 again? Like,
no, Christian Kirk's going to get his, man.
Here's the way I look at this game.
Yeah, he'll have his game.
I think this game is the absolute safest fade on the board. I think you could fade this game from top to bottom. I think Big B's going to cut into Etienne. That's going to be a problem. I think you got Pacheco, McKinnon, and CEH. While they're all healthy, one of them is going to drop down, probably McKinnon or CEH at some point. You got the Sky Moore, Ross, Rashee Wright, Kelce, fucking Kadarius Toney debate. Mahomes naked, I think, is a play. Kelsey's overpriced. Angram's a good play. There's just so much here. I think that this is one of those plays where, it's a 52 total. Everyone's going to be all over it. I'm actually comfortable fading this and just making 5 lineups, putting Kadarius Toney on one, Sky Moore on the other, and just fucking rocking with it and hope one.
Yeah, you don't got to full stack it, but there's going to be pieces of this game, man.
I think it's going to be hard to pick those pieces, though.
I mean, that's part of winning the tournament.
That's the thing.
Ridley, like you said, it is a little bit of Russian roulette.
Like you got 4 options
when you're
on
filling out these lineups and you got 4K left or whatever, and there's Sky Moore. Like, don't be afraid to play.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why me and you're on the same page, ScarFace. It's that 4K. Fucking take that dart down. But Trevor, you seem to be on a Tony train with me.
Tony, let's fucking ride that shit. I got him on 4 of my 5 teams. And
wow. 80% Tony, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we bring Go down.
Yep.
80% Kadarius Toney.
Fucking McKinnon.
That's it.
Walk it down. Millie maker, McKinnon.
All right. By the way, Pacheco, 4 catches. I did
I know I do like
I actually want to put a little more emphasis on Travis Etienne here because Bigsby did not look that great last week. I think Etienne is the play. I think he's leverage as well because I think everyone's going to be playing the wide receivers here. Travis at the end could be the one that winds up winning you a tournament with a big game at lower ownership than he should have in the highest total game.
ETN and Kelsey, baby, opposing forces. If that lands right, that smashes.
Listen,
and especially if you're fading like the Ridley play as well. I mean, ETN and Kelsey.
ATN's a seam away. ATN's a seam away from breaking a slate. So we're at the hour mark. We got 6 games left, 5 minutes per game. We got a few games that suck. We're perfectly timed. Chicago and Tampa Bay here. Listen, Justin Fields did not look good. I don't think Justin Fields is good. But in this situation, what are we looking at here, Healy? Talk to me.
Not much on the Bear side. I'm going to stay off Justin Fields. I just prefer other quarterbacks. Again,
do you think
plenty
Moore's
of receivers.
Too cheap, Healy? 5,500. Do you think he's getting down there into that, like, it's a little too cheap?
So he's the one guy I've noted, like, he's going to be completely unowned in that mid 5K range, right next to Deebo Samuel.
Away from being gone.
I mean, he ran all the routes, didn't get a ton of targets. It was Mooney that was his guy, but he would be the Bear. Like if I was going to take a flyer, or if had a pretty chalky build, I would be okay with him as last man in. On the Bucs side, I mean, Baker Mayfield, I know he did okay. That guy still sucks ass. It does better.
Healy said ass on the first show. Let's go.
Good against the Viking defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does well against teams that blitz a little bit more. Vikings do blitz. Won't necessarily see that as much with the Bucs. I actually like Rachaad White quite a bit here this week, 5.5K. Bears were absolutely run over by the Packers last week. I think the Bucs find very similar success. I think it's a positive, at worst case, neutral game script here for the Bucs. So Rachaad White's the guy I'm going to run with. Evans and Godwin, again, you can flip coins. I'm not confident with Baker throwing them the ball that they're going to have any consistency week to week. So it's the running game for me, Rachaad White, and I'd be okay with a DJ Moore flyer on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, I think DJ Moore is a little too cheap here. ScarFace getting down to 5,500. We're a slant away from 70 and a touch.
The thing with DJ Moore is, like, if you're going to play him, are you going to pair him with Justin Fields?
No.
Fields' upside is his rushing ability.
You go Fields naked, or you play
roll Fields out naked. That's the only way I would play him.
Millie Maker, I'll pair him.
I got to see it first with Justin Fields before I pair him with anybody. But you can always roll him out naked. He's got that rushing upside. They're going to have to get him going. They got to just admit that he's not a passer. They're going to win games.
No, he sucks. We just have to admit he sucks.
That's it. So
Justin
they got to
Fields
run the ball
fucking sucks. End of story.
So you can just roll him out naked if you feel like playing him. And just like Healy said, Rachaad White is cheap on both sides. You can definitely plug him in. He's going to see a lot of volume. What he does with that volume, who knows? But it is a home game for them. So the only 2 plays I like in this game are Fields and Rachaad White.
Trevor, you got to have a weird play out of this game.
Listen. I'm like
Mike. I'm coming to you next to start the.
Yeah, I'm gonna go quick here because I'm feeling vibes. But I think we're missing something here. Listen, Evans got 10 targets. Godwin got 6 targets. The Baker Mayfield does suck. I do agree.
Why am I not surprised you're on Baker Mayfield?
No, I'm not on Mayfield. He does suck, but he's gonna sling it. He's always slung it a little bit. I think fucking Evans gets his. I think Evans is going to be his target. Hey, throw it up and let's see if Evans can catch it. Baker going, I suck. I'm going to throw it somewhere.
Mike Evans looks like he's playing football in a swimming pool. He literally just goes straight up, catches the ball, comes straight down unless you catch him on the run. But
I'm on Evans this week.
Shockingly, Benny Mayfield, 8 rushing attempts last week. He only had 11 yards, but eight rushing attempts. We got to look at volume there a little bit. Not horrible.
Yeah, eight rushing attempts, and he talked shit to the DB that he ran over on the one right there. But
yeah,
I'm actually with I'm with Healy and ScarFace here. The only guy I'm really looking at in this game is Rachaad White. They are favored. They are at home. That's what we love with our running backs here.
Vegas
is plus
no
150.
What they're doing.
Plus 150 to score a touchdown, which is just way too big for him here. Most of the time when you get a home favorite, it's usually like minus 110, minus 120. They don't have anybody else. Now, listen, Leonard Fournette had the same role that White has this year. He had it last year. He wasn't great, but the guy's just going to get so much volume. So this is a game
so you
where
didn't have Tucker and Edmonds and Vaughn behind it. Yeah, this is a good
15 to 20 touches out of this guy. He's super cheap, and I think he gets in the box at plus 150. So White's a guy that I'm going to have probably more money than I should on this weekend.
I don't hate it. I'm going to be underexposed to this game. I hate all these idiots. Constantino, let me start with you here. Chargers, Tennessee. Eckler, doubtful. Looks like a Josh Kelly day. 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown from Josh Kelly. We've seen him before. Where are you going in this game? What do you think is going to go on? Looking at Vegas right here. This is a 45.5 total, which on this slate isn't that bad. We got a lot of 40 and unders. Tennessee, only a 2.5 point underdog at home. Chargers minus 146 on the road.
Herbert and Allen on the Chargers side. I think Herbert's, a little cheap this week in this game. DraftKings at 7,000. I mean, Mike Williams didn't get off the bus last week.
I mean,
That's
wow.
bad for me. I had him on my team. I thought he'd be more of a target monster there. I think Herbert's a good play here, and don't really love anything on the Tennessee side. I mean, Henry on FanDuel, maybe, he's always live, but Chargers are still having problems stopping the run a little bit. Don't really love anything outside of that. Nothing like groundbreaking here, but I'll have some lineups with Herbert and Allen. Josh Kelly, obviously, with.
But how much, Mike? So you're the guy I want to talk to for this. So
Yeah.
Josh Kelly, you play a great mix of GPP and cash game, and you're usually really good at riding the chalk if it's the right chalk, right? Josh Kelly right now is probably coming in, Healy, fucking 10% on algos, but the second Eckler's announced out, we're going to see him
Eckler
jump
looks like
into
he's going to miss.
Eckler's not playing.
Yeah,
guys.
Eckler's
Eckler's not playing. I don't care what they say. So, Healy, we're probably going to see
Tennessee has
Josh,
a good run defense, though, Tom.
right? But that's what I'm saying. So you're the line guy.
I'm not really
Mike?
on him. Yeah.
You're the line guy, right? This is a terrible running matchup, but he's also insane volume at 5K. How much Kelly exposure?
I'd just probably go elsewhere, to be honest with you. I like spending up. I mean, we didn't get to it this week yet, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But I have other people that I like. I'm just not onto it. And I said it again last week, and we talked about it a lot. And I said, guys, all the time you see these chalky type plays, right? Whether it's this week the tight end from Green Bay we talked about earlier, or 4K Kelly, or last week Healy. Who was the running back we were talking about?
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams, Deion Jackson, yeah.
And we talked about this text even last year. It's like I'm trying to avoid all that shit.
Right, yeah. Because the bottom line is, if you do it all year, you only need
you can't avoid them all the time. I mean,
but what I mean by that though is I won't put him, as Tommy asked about my cash build or let's say main lineups. Like I like what you said earlier, when you're building a lineup and let's say you chalk donkey it up and you got 4,000 left or 3,000 or 3,400. That's where you plug one of these like wild cards in, right? You get your good correlation that you like, you fill it in with some good players, and you're going to be left with a spot you got to take a shot on, right? And isn't that the differentiator in winning these, you would know, you guys more than me, the larger field, big money tournaments. So I would use it more as a flyer, but like Kelly doesn't check the box for me. I'd rather play Herbert and Allen than Kelly in this spot.
All right. ScarFace, what are we doing? Josh Kelly here is going to be a big decision because Eckler's going to be out.
He's a tough fade. He's a tough fade. I mean,
it's a tough fade and it's a tough play too.
It's a tough fade. It's a tough fade. I mean, you might just need him in your lineup. That's it. It just might come down to that. His price is so cheap.
have him in, even though this is not a good matchup. Tennessee is not a good matchup.
It's not a great matchup, but he doesn't need much.
So there's nothing worse than playing chalk.
If he gets you 10 points, if Kelly gets you 10 points, you're going to need him.
He's going to get you more than 10.
If he falls into that end zone, you're going to need him in your lineup. That's the problem.
One of those weeks where you fucking fade him and he does nothing all game, and then he falls into the end zone and everyone.
That's it. I mean, he can fall into the end zone one time, and you're going to need him, especially on a site like FanDuel where the touchdown equity is so important. So I mean, it's up to you if you want to fade him or not in tournaments. Of course, you could always fade people in tournaments. The higher you get in dollar, it's a much tougher fade.
So what exposure will you have?
If I'm playing 3 lineups, I might have him in 2 of them.
What if you're playing 20?
If I'm playing 20, I might have him in.
So you're going 60.
8 to 9.
All right. So you're going to go higher on the single entry, 3 entry max lineups,
especially on FanDuel.
All right. Anyone else you love in this game?
My favorite play in this game is Chigo Konku.
Yes. Thank you.
If Hopkins misses, he's going to be involved so much more in the passing game. I love his price on both sides. I don't like paying up for tight ends this week. Chig's got big play upside. He just needs to take one to the house. He's going to pay off that price. He's going to allow you to fit all those other studs into your lineup. I built some dummy lineups where I put Josh Kelly and I put Chig in there, and you're able to fit Chase. You're able to fit Diggs. You're able to fit Devontae. You could fit all the studs in there if you want. And as far as Derrick Henry, I'm out on him for now. I think there's a lot better running back plays on the slate. There's so much value that I don't think you need to go to Henry. If you are going to pay up, we'll get to a guy I like to pay up for later. As far as the Chargers side, I mean, I love Herbert with Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams is the Charger I would use from the receivers. Josh Kelly, of course. But they're a pass funnel offense, right? Pass funnel defense. So Herbert is going to get his, and I don't think you need to double stack him, but the person I like stacking him with the most here is definitely Mike Williams.
Okay. So Healy, I just added fucking Westbrook and Keenan in multiple leagues going forward because I know DeAndre Hopkins isn't making it through the year. 3,300, 7 targets last week, 4 for 58. We have ScarFace talking about secondary options to DeAndre Hopkins. I do like Okonkwo. Is there some value here that you would kind of sneak into one of your main 3 lineups on this Tennessee set?
It's Treylon Burks for me. The kid is talented. Chico Combo is talented, but he's going to have to win a very tough matchup. Chargers are elite at defending opposing tight ends. I know he's a freak athlete.
Right.
He certainly can win, and his price is affordable. So you could certainly play him. But Treylon Diggs is the guy I'm most interested in here, especially assuming DeAndre Hopkins misses. Treylon Burks. I think this is another outright dog, similar to the Jags. I think the Titans, a game I think most are going to like the Chargers.
This line is crappy as fuck, Healy. The fact that they're leaving this thing under 3, they're baiting Charger money right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think this game comes down to like a final drive, whether it kind of swings one or the other. I think this is one of those scrappy Tennessee games where ultimately they get it done or be pretty ugly. The Chargers, I think where they're going to struggle is in the red zone without Eckler. I think they're going to be able to move the ball inside the 20s. Keenan Allen's probably going to rack up a massive PPR day, him and Mike Williams, 10, 12 catches. But I think they're going to struggle to get inside the box without Eckler. So I don't have a great ton of interest in really stacking this game up. Again, I think Allen and Williams still have serviceable days. Maybe one of them gets in the end zone. But I don't like this game for a ton of scoring. It's Treylon Burks on one side, and or Chigo Konwu, and I'd be okay with one of the Chargers pass receivers, but I'm not stacking this one up.
Benny, I'm not understanding why no one in the fucking world is talking about Westbrook and Keenan. 7 targets, 4 for 58. He's 3,300. He's basically a fucking free square that we're sitting there for Tennessee, and DeAndre Hopkins out. And I don't hear anyone talking about it. Everyone's going Burks, tight end, everything. Any interest?
None whatsoever, to be honest. But there is a wide receiver.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand.
All right, hold on.
Just waiting for something to do
with it. Here's what I don't understand.
I'm good with it, but I don't get it. Tell me why.
This is the Cam Akers.
Hold on.
I get it. He sucks. The whole fucking team sucks.
We have not talked about the best play in this game nearly enough, and it's Keenan Allen by a fucking mile. I don't even know why anybody else is not like all over this right now. He's getting 100 yards at plus 250 on FanDuel right now. So go put that bet in there. He's going to get 10 catches in this game. We always talk about Austin Eckler having all these catches when Keenan Allen is not in a game. Well, we now have the exact opposite of that. We now have Austin Eckler, who's not going to be in the game. Where the hell do you think all those targets are going to go? Josh Kelly may get all the carries, but he's definitely not going to be getting any of the passing down work. This is going to be a 15-target game for Keenan Allen. So you could go bet Keenan Allen for over 10 catches right now. Go bet him for over 100 yards right now. Go bet him plus 180 for a touchdown right now. And even at 7,100, he is my favorite play on DraftKings. There is not a lineup I am making this week that does not have Keenan Allen in it. This game has Keenan Allen written.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Herbert
and Keenan. Let's go.
All over.
I like this a lot.
I like
this a lot.
I like it.
I mean,
hold on. Let me just add to that. I mean, Healy, because you talk about them being a pass funnel all the time. Wouldn't what Benny just said there with logic and them being a pass funnel fit into why you would want Allen in this spot?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, that's what I noted. I think between the 20s, I think they move the ball well. I think they're going to really struggle in the red zone without Eckler this week. So I think
that's good for Keenan because he's the possession moving, chain moving, high target, high volume, high reception guy.
Mike, this is one of those situations.
Tennessee gives up the big play.
Tennessee's what? Like the fucking worst or second worst pass defense in the entire
I mean,
NFL.
they give up
they're a fucking
huge
disaster.
plays. I mean, that's Mike
Mike,
Williams.
this
That's
is
what
one
he
of
does.
those situations. I think Keenan Allen's probably going to come in at 9% owned. Everyone's going to be.
He's
if
definitely
you're
going to be
playing-
lower owned.
Here's the thing: if you're playing Josh Kelly, you're not playing Keenan Allen, right? Like if you're looking at these high, it's a 45 total.
Good
You're not
leverage
looking-
play off the
you're not
chalk
looking to
running back
stack
at
this
5.
play. Yeah,
You
this
can
is
play.
Benny.
You can play them both. You can play Josh
Yeah,
Kelly,
but
you're playing
Scarface.
Josh
Let's
Kelly
look at
for
it
that
this way.
value.
Scarface, you're playing a
for-
$5,000 Thunderdome. You're playing a $100 3-entry max, whatever it is. No one's going and going to play Josh Kelly and Keenan Allen, right, in a 45 total.
I will say that Scarface is absolutely right. The way you beat Tennessee's defense is usually with the deep pass, which is Mike Williams. So I actually think Williams is going to come in.
No, I like
higher
Keenan
owned
as the
than Keenan
extension.
He's
I
going to
like
be
Keenan
higher
as
for
the
sure.
extension.
You're right about
Yeah.
that. He's going to be higher owned than Keenan Allen.
I think you
That's
can.
why
I would feel
that's
more
why I love
comfortable if I
Allen
was.
so
If I listen, I don't play as heavy DFS as I did before. I run a fucking multi-million-dollar company. I can't. But when I did, I was in the New York Post and I was super famous. But the one thing I will say is, if I was playing a high dollar tournament right now, I would not play Josh Kelly and Keenan Allen. I would feel more comfortable playing Josh Kelly and Mike Williams because I'd be thinking, listen, Josh Kelly can get 22 touches. Mike Williams catch a bomb for 70 yards and I'm good. Keenan Allen needs volume, right? Like Keenan Allen's going to need 15 targets, 12 catches to get to that number. So I wouldn't want volume from Kelly and volume from Keenan Allen needed against a team like Tennessee, who's going to try and take the volume away by slowing the game down. So, Benny, I love that. I just moved Keenan Allen to my main lineup. I love that. I love this play.
That's
Trevor.
what the roundtable's about. You put me on.
Yeah, no, I love it. Listen, I love it. I
You're doing,
was not on him at all, and
break it
I
all
love
down.
it. I love it. Trev, what do you think? That's it, dude. You're so much better on me. Seriously, you look so good, and you're so stupid. Seriously, how are you this fucking dumb? And you look, and his wife's hot too. You got to see his wife. His wife's a smoke show. He calls her the girl that lives in him. Does he even know? Do you even know that we can't hear you? No, let him go.
Did you show him what you're
I want to
drinking?
hear his. I want to
Right.
see his analysis.
Did you show the people what you're drinking?
I mean, dude, this kid gets.
I had motherfucker.
This kid gets laid by a hot chick every night. Imagine that.
He's a bottle of Blue Label in.
Listen. This is what I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
or what I said, but I thought. But I'll be
No,
quick.
we just watched you say it.
I have
No,
a man
we'd love
crush
to hear
on
it.
Benny now. I thought I did, but now I know I do because Keenan Allen's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I love you, Benny. Women love me too. There's 19 girls watching tonight. They came to see me. Thanks.
There's no girls watching to see you.
Yes.
On to the next game. Zero,
right.
literally zero. Your wife literally left the fucking room to stop seeing you. Let's go to the Giants, Arizona. Con man, what the fuck happened with Daniel Jones? I was in a fantasy battle, 2 season leagues. I had Daniel Jones scored 4 points. He had 4.5 in the first quarter and ended with 4.
It's a get right spot, baby, and I'm glad you segued into
I
it.
feel like you have a
Love
play on
Daniel
this.
Jones and Saquon Barkley in this spot. Fucking love Saquon. That was
What
my
a
spend
host
up
I
running
am.
back. I said I like earlier. It's get right spot. It's hard to throw the ball when that Dallas defense is in your face so fast. I don't think that will be the case with the Arizona defense. I mean, they're facing Josh Dobbs in this spot. I think the Giants are going to move the
Dobbs. I
ball.
like you extended
Dobbs, whatever the fuck it is. But I love Saquon in the spot, and I like Daniel Jones, and I like the tricky pairing of Daniel Jones and Saquon.
Ooh, you like Mike
I like
likes
that.
to
You
do
know I
that.
do
Mike,
that.
you like
I
to
do
do
that.
that. I've seen you win tens of thousands of dollars doing that little weird fucking quarterback running.
I like
back
to do
take.
that.
You like all the exposure through 2 people.
Well, I'm
I
getting
like that.
all the passing yards and basically all the rushing yards because Daniel Jones gets the rushing yards too. He gets goal line carries. He
I do
can
like it.
scramble for 60 and a touchdown on the ground. And Saquon's going to get you the receptions too. I think the Giants will come in. They got to step up. I still like Dable as a coach, and it's just going to be a speed slower
Mike,
for them. This week.
I don't. We
I
have
think
to
they
stop
shred
everything.
Arizona here.
I think there's girls in the chat talking about you and Goat. I don't know why, the 2 least sexually desirable.
Which chat?
And in the YouTube chat. So let me just update everyone.
Stacy says that Con Man
Stacy
is more
said
her type
actually
than Goat. That's it.
Con Man's
Yeah.
more my type, and Blue. Actually, no, it's not Blue. It's Cali. It's Malibu. I think Malibu's team Trevor. So I think we have a little.
No, Malibu's my girl. Malibu, don't go against me.
No, Malibu's Trevor's girl. No, Malibu, you're gonna need to take a stand here. You're gonna need to go Trevor or
Listen,
Con Man.
when it's
How do we get
dark-
to this YouTube chat?
I
when
mean,
it's
we'll
dark,
teach
Kevin's
you by
girl-
week 5. You'll figure it out.
Well,
The
no,
lights
nobody
are
wants
off,
Healy.
every
Nobody's
girl.
talking about Healy.
No, Healy looks like he just got out of fucking like working at the dumpster or something. Like fucking like looks like a fucking repo man. We appreciate him being here. Flat brim, Healy. You're too old for the flat brim. Could we bury that?
Tommy just slinging
yeah.
fire.
I ordered it from 4 Deep, and this is what they sent me.
I mean, I like the hat. I like that you're repping 4 Deep, but does Healy seem like a flat brim guy? He seems like he should be chopping wood, and he's like a good old boy.
I got a mix. I got a nice variety.
I mean,
unlike you that wears the same 2 hats every day.
I mean, listen, I have 3 of this hat, by the way, and I like it. I have a weird head, Healy. Do you see my head? My head is not normal. I have an alien head. So there's not many hats that fit it. So it takes me a while to break a hat in, and I have to wear the same 3. But thanks for pointing that out and making me very insecure on the show here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for that. I probably deserve that. Next game, ScarFace, what do you think? Anyone else have anything on the Giants, Arizona? I mean, this is Barkley. This is Daniel Jones. Are we taking a shot? Giants receiver.
Defense.
Giants defense.
I mean, good luck figuring out the Giants receivers.
I mean, I like the Giants defense.
Maybe a Waller bounce back here. He seems to be healthy.
I mean,
I mean, he's their fucking pass catcher if he's healthy. 5,500 tight end. It's like right in between Kelsey and the 3,000.
Are they going to throw enough though? Arizona's
it's a Saquon game. Daniel Jones is a good play, but I'm concerned about his ceiling. Like, I don't see a ceiling game for him. Like, he could have a good game, but
Saquon goes.
I don't think it's a.
Well, maybe Jones and Waller together then, or Saquon.
I mean, I see. Here's the thing. Like, I have one decision on this game: Giants and Survivor. Arizona's terrible. They got to be playing for Caleb Williams. They got to be trying to lose. There's certain teams that have no interest. Why do you think the Rams are looking to trade Stafford after they're 1-0? Certain teams know that Caleb Williams, the god, the GOAT, the fucking master of everything is coming. I'm going to take a road team in Survivor this week with the Giants. So that's it. But Trevor, any sneaky play here?
Sneaky? No.
Okay, good. Let's move on. San Fran Rams. San Fran came out last week, Mikey. Fucking just straight shit stomped the weird line. Looked like the sharp play. Give me one play first that you love from this game, and then I'm going to kick over to fucking Healy.
Well, I'm an Ayuk guy, right? But now this week it looks like Deebo, I think, is even cheaper, which complicates things a little bit. But the 49ers, they're one of those teams that you can get literally all their offense, in my opinion, with like a bundle of 2-3 of their 4 guys. I mean, it's like Purdy, CMC, Ayuk, and Kittle. That's their entire fucking offense, their entire passing tree, their play calling.
Purdy, CMC, you got it all
Take
covered.
one guy out and like play a mixture of the other 3 and mix and match, but you're getting their entire offense. I mean, you really are. So I just kind of like to fuck around with those guys and play a couple here and there. I mean, and I think you're good this week. And I like them as a teaser leg also, San Fran.
All right, Healy, talk to me here. We got a 44.5 total. We got San Fran who fucking just literally whipped their dick out and mushroom stamped Pittsburgh last week. What are we doing?
We're jamming Cam Akers.
Jamming Cam. If you jam Cam this week, I'm going to jam my dick in your ass.
Double or nothing.
I mean, if you're going to give my man another 22 touches, there's no way he goes sub 30 yards.
I have never rooted for someone I love to die more in the middle of a sentence since Bill Rupp spoke last. Are you serious with this, or are you just doing this to fuck with me?
No, I'm not serious with this at all.
Can we at least give me credit? The 22 touches. If I told you Cam,
I love the balls on you for taking the bet.
If I told you Cam was going to get 22 touches,
I mean, that's why we took the bet.
I mean, he still almost got there.
That's why we took the bet.
You didn't think he was getting 22 touches.
Well, I would say I think at least like 15 of them were in like the final drive of the game. The final.
You also got Vulture from 2 touchdowns. Fuck Karen Williams, who no one was on, and everyone can say that. Oh, we loved Karen Williams. He was fucking like 3K, and no one bet him.
Yeah. Well, we bet against Cam Akers, and we won by a mile.
I don't like that you guys
never a sweat.
Bukaki'd me last week. That was not good. Sure. That was like I took a strong stand against you. I called you guys frauds. I said I was the real GOAT of DFS, and not good to start off with a fucking gigantic L.
You took the L time.
Yeah.
They always fuck around with those Rams running backs, though. Even last year, I mean, you think it's one guy, it's another. I mean, it's one of those places.
Did anyone see Karen Williams getting fucking 17 touches?
Nobody saw it. Don't worry.
Fuck you, ScarFace.
But we all saw it, Cam Akers.
I know what you're doing. You're placating me. You guys think you're cool because you're fucking sharp. Fuck you too.
No, really, I mean, this game, there's a lot to like here on the San Fran side, but it can go in a lot of different directions. Certainly, if you have the capital to go with McCaffrey. I think he's certainly a really strong play this week. But his price is a bit prohibitive. I mean, there is some wide receiver value if you feel like going down there. We talked about some of them. Are you comfortable playing Josh Reynolds at 12% in order to squeeze the CMC? Not sure. Still toying around with builds. Obviously, final decision there will be in my article that comes out tomorrow on 4deep.com. But I think there's a lot to like even in this passing game. I think this is a sneaky spot here for George Kittle. I know you don't always like to pay up at tight end, but I do like to target him in matchups where teams don't have an extremely strong pass rush, and he doesn't have to stay in a block as much. I think there's going to be some pretty big weeks on the horizon for George Kittle, and I do like his outlook this week. Deebo Samuel projects to be one of the most popular receivers this week on DraftKings at 5.6K. Again, the matchup is fine, but you're fighting for targets with Ayuk, with Kittle, with CMC coming out of the backfield. So I'm not too supportive of a chalk Deebo Samuel with a ton of other options in that price range and its other weapons for San Francisco. On the Rams side, I think we can go back to Puka. I know the matchup's terrible,
a little banged
but
up.
they're gonna have to chuck. I mean, they're gonna be playing from behind. I certainly don't expect Cam Akers to just run all over them this week. I don't think there's going to be a ton of steam.
Late addition to the injury report. It's a little worrisome.
Yeah, well, I'll continue to monitor that for sure, but he would be the receiver I'd look to on the Rams side in this one.
All right. Do we know how to do a giveaway in here? The Streamlabs thing?
I do not know how to do it. Evan would be the one that would know how to do it. So we could try to do a giveaway.
I mean, we could try it.
We're not going to do it right.
What the fuck's the worst that happened?
Are you going to fucking give away goat dollars again? Well,
no, we're going to give away your fucking underwear.
I got enough of them. Let's go. All
right. So we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway in here. I'm going to figure out how, because I think we're going to fuck it up, but we're going to give someone away a free week in here. So don't.
I have an idea.
Oh, Jesus.
Have everybody go in the chat and put a card in a suit, and I'll randomly shuffle a deck, and I'll keep turning them. The first one that somebody guessed that comes up, they win.
I mean, it's probably more. It's like 300 people. It's probably more than cards that you have in the deck.
Well, how many people are going to really do it?
Why don't we just do like a trivia question, and the first person to answer it?
I mean,
okay. What is Tommy's favorite color sweatpants?
Gray.
Free ball.
I win.
Easy.
I win. All right, so we're gonna do a giveaway. Just hang around. I'm gonna figure out something. We'll figure something out. Healy, you said something I wanted to comment on. I forgot about it, and now we're moving on. Anyone else on this San Fran Rams game? Give me some input.
So I want to point out. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to throw something out there because everybody's saying, why is Deebo chalk? So with San Francisco, the thing that you got to look out for is what the defense plays. When defenses play man-to-man against them, it's a Brandon Ayuk week. When defenses play zone against them, it tends to be a Deebo Samuel week. So that's why I think people are expecting it. Yeah, that's why I think people are expecting it to be more of a Deebo week. Not that
Isn't
I like
it crazy how we've reached the point, Benny, in information that a stat like that, which would have us like a contrarian edge, is now public.
Not only that, just look at the history.
Yeah.
Deebo has a history of torching the Rams with the way they play the defense against the Niners. So, I mean, this is a Deebo game. He's going to eat in this game. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I don't care if he is chalk. For his price, like, there's no way I'm fading Deebo.
Yeah, I like it too. I have him into my main line.
And also, I just want to point out, on the Rams side, I don't mind going right back to Tyler Higbee. He was a chalk bust last week. He's not projected to be as high owned this week as he was last week, but he's basically in the same spot as he was last week, but with less ownership. So I'm definitely going to be going back to Tyler Higbee.
I'm with you on that, Jerry, and especially with Nakua being banged up. And if he's out, then I
would rather Puka be healthy for this game. It's going to be much less ownership on Higbee.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. All right, let's move over to the Jets, Dallas. Benny, we're going to start with you. You got the Jets hat on.
Dallas defense is the chalkiest of chalk right now against Zach Wilson. 100%.
Don't do it.
Fuck the
100%. 100%. If you're
Benny.
not putting Dallas defense, in your lineup, you're literally doing it wrong this week. They're going to absolutely. I am the biggest Jet fan in the world. They are going to absolutely embarrass on a short week. Zach Wilson starting. Like, listen, I'm the biggest Jet fan in the world. I go to every single game. This is the worst possible, the absolute worst possible spot. Tony Pollard's a great play. The Jets, the Dallas defense is a great play. And I hate it, but dude, I cannot. There's no other way to talk about it. Like, Zach Wilson is going to struggle.
Tommy's gone.
He's going to struggle
Tommy's
big time.
gone.
His
I mean,
jet
listen,
helmet remains. His jet helmet remains.
He's going to HR.
I hope I'm
talk about Benny.
I hope I'm wrong.
Benny's gone.
But there is no way. There is no way the Dallas defense doesn't have a massive score this week. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, listen, do we want to try to help people win money, or do you want to hear my fandom? My fandom is, yes, the Jets are going to win. They're going to kill them. But helping people win money, like Dallas's defense, the Jets are not going to be able to stop the pass rush. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 Zach Wilson turnovers. It is going to be a bloodbath. It is.
Tommy's like,
he makes bad decisions when under pressure. I was watching like they were doing a preview earlier, and he's like rolling right, and there's like 5 Jaguars or whatever it is. He just like throws the ball. I mean, that ain't gonna work against Dallas, man.
He's gonna throw at least 2 picks off his back foot on passes that I've watched every snap that this guy has had. I've never missed a snap of a Jet game, either on the television or in person. It's gonna be a bloodbath. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's going to be. On a short week, too.
I agree.
Yeah, it's hard to go to anybody else in this game besides Tony Pollard. There's nobody on the Jets you can really go to. I mean, it's tough to play any of those guys. As far as the Dallas defense, they're a lot more affordable on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings. They're a lot much easier to play on FanDuel. They're only 4,500 there. On DraftKings, they're the second highest priced defense. And Tony Pollard, he's just going to eat in this game.
Yeah. And the thing about the passing game is, because, like, look what happened last week. It's not
talking.
that
seriously. You're still.
It's not that CD Lamb. It's not CD.
Dude,
that CD Lamb isn't good. It's just not enough.
Stop. You're still fucking talking.
Listen, we can go.
Take your
15-1.
fucking hat off.
Oh my god, I love it. Awesome.
And you think this is funny?
I honestly don't think it's funny, but I think it's true.
Zach Wilson.
I expect it out of you, this fucking asshole.
Excuse me.
Go, whoever wants.
I mean, I have one thing that I was looking at, and like, I don't think I could stomach.
Can we hear Tommy's take on this game?
No, I'm not fucking.
I was gonna say I can't stomach myself to bet.
We all have the same take. I got to hear Tommy's.
Go, Mike. Don't listen to him. I run the fucking show.
I think they're being so disrespected that I might be
Jets?
forced. No, hear me out. I might be forced to bet Zach Wilson over a touchdown pass. When you have Garrett Wilson, what you saw, he went to defend the ball,
I can't believe this
caught the touchdown, or Breece Hall even breaking one on a screen pass or something. To go over a half, he needs to throw 1 touchdown as an NFL starting quarterback.
Mike, he's definitely throwing a touchdown. This is literally my
down.
favorite game of the week.
Rules in your favor.
Guys,
everyone shut the fuck up. Mike's talking.
The line is minus 50 cents. I mean, can he not throw 1 touchdown minus 50 cents?
I saw that line. Benny, fuck you still. I'm not done with you yet. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He's an NFL quarterback with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. They need to break one. It's not even like he has to throw one. I mean, dump it up. They have the potential to break one. I think that's a great bet.
Break one. You fucking threw one the other day. He had no fucking reps in the fucking preseason. No reps in the regular season.
It's a great bet. I do. I think everybody's against him. That's such disrespect that his line is minus 50 cents to throw one.
Mike, I mean, I never thought I'd say this. Mike, thank God you're here. Seriously.
Say it again.
Mike, thank God you're here.
Thank you, Tom.
You deserve it twice. Benny, fuck you. Healy, I don't know what you said. I walked away. I'm assuming it was negative against me and you shit on me. ScarFace, I'm sure you were nicely shitting on me. Trevor, did you have a weird play on this? You probably like fucking, I don't know, some like Gibson in your Millie Maker lineup or something to return a punt. But first of all, the Jets win this game. Okay, that's happening. Dallas is coming. Benny, I swear to God, Benny, shut your fucking camera off. I'm not looking at you when I do this. Shut your camera off right now. Shut it off. Okay. The Jets win this game. Okay. I said coming into the season, Aaron Rodgers was not the most important part of this team. The Jets defense on 3 layers: line, linebacker, defensive backs. If the Jets go into this with the right game plan, which it should be, Zach, just go in there, don't fuck it up. Dak Prescott will throw an interception in this game. Can I get anyone on board with that? Minus 102.
Dallas
and
is not gonna,
plus,
they're not running away from this game.
Dak Prescott is plus money on sites to throw an interception against this defense.
But you want to talk about DFS plays? It's tough to play a lot of these guys, man.
Forget DFS. Obviously, we're not. This isn't a big DFS game. I think you can go Millie Maker and get something weird. Garrett Wilson's going to get his on no matter who he's fucking guarded by. This is not the great matchup for anyone there. This is not a great matchup for anyone in this game. But Dak Prescott to throw an interception at plus money is a phenomenal bet. Zach Wilson to throw a touchdown at minus 150 is a phenomenal bet.
That's insulting. I mean, it really is.
It is insulting, especially considering that this kid literally just beat the Buffalo Bills with no reps, none. This kid keeps getting thrown into the shit show of a fire. The Jets win this game, guys. This defense is different. Dallas is not going to go throw up fucking 20, 30, 40 points. This is going to be a nail biter as long as Zach doesn't implode, which I don't think he does. From a DFS perspective, I don't think you can go Breece Hall. He's a little bit banged up. I think Cook's going to be a little bit involved. I think this is going to be tight to the vest. Grind this out. I think this is an under. And I don't think the Jets defense at 2,700 here on DraftKings, where you're looking to fucking.
It's not a crazy play. It's not
a bad play. I'm avoiding the whole game, but Benny can go fuck himself. But there's some bets to be made on this game, especially falling into the 4:00 window. Benny, take your hat off and just cut yourself somewhere. Not like your wrist, but like cut your cheek or something.
Tommy, 4-5, ninth inning, Yankees bases loaded, 1 out, just because it's a gambling everything. So I figured you wanted to know. That was it.
Yeah, no, I didn't bet the Yankees today. I bet the Rays 7-1. And obviously my college football bets are fucking destroyed.
Okay, I bet the Yankees then. I admit it. It's me. I wanted to know. And they just tied it up.
And you're allowed to do that. They did tie it up. All right, that's good.
Yep.
What's the score of Air Force is what I need to know.
Oh, I think it's retarded. I think it's special needs kid.
32-7.
I mean, come on.
How did it be politically
easy
correct?
money? And we had Army on Stay Cash today as a 7-point dog, up 30-21 at the end of the third quarter. Gotta love the Naval Academies, guys. Gotta love them. Just really good at this. We're really good at this betting thing. Let's go to the final game of the slate. No better game to end it with than fucking Washington, Denver. Let's go to ScarFace here. Russell Wilson era and I was wrong on this. I didn't think he was washed. Nikos called it. I'm wrong. I have been loading up. I have probably $5,000 worth of Jarrett Stidham cards, which I am loading up on. Keep your eye on this kid. Dropped 330 and 3 against the Niners in his first start last year. Jarrett Stidham's season is coming. Peyton does not want Russell Wilson. We're now at home against Washington. Is there anything we like here, ScarFace?
There's a lot I like here. Actually, there's one play I really love here. One of my favorite plays on the whole slate is Jahan Dotson. We saw what Jacoby Myers did last week while Surtain was covering Devontae, and I think we could see the same thing this week while he's covering McLaurin. I think Jahan Dotson is going to eat in this game. He's probably the only play I like in this game. I just can't see myself playing anybody on the Denver side right now. I mean, they're just a fucking mess. But Jahan Dotson,
what happened to
definitely
Mims?
One of my favorite plays on the slate.
What happened to Mims? Is anyone seasonally oriented here?
He's the wide receiver 7.
I mean, Mims was like the guy coming into the year that was like moving up draft boards and everything. Healy, I know you don't do much seasonal, but is anyone else here following? Mims literally played like the 5th most snaps on the team. I dropped him. I literally drafted him.
Judy's back.
Dude, I read about this.
What's that, Trevor? You read something? We have to kick to you if you read something. You haven't read anything. Ever.
He banged Russell Wilson's ex-girlfriend in college. He was dead.
Did you just make that up?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Made every bit of that up.
Good job. Hey, listen, you said it with confidence. That's how you landed your wife. So
100%. Like believable.
I mean, Mims is just gone. I mean, that was no Judy. We got Judy Sutton.
Judy's back.
He's back, yeah.
I mean, when you're getting outsnapped by a dude whose name starts with Lil and isn't a rapper, that's not good. That's not good. So Healy, anything we like here? I mean, Gibson obviously going right back into the doghouse, fucking right out the gate, fucking 4 touches. I think Brian Robinson is a thing here. I just don't think this is the matchup to exploit it.
Yeah, I agree. Very tough matchup here on the road in Denver. I'm with ScarFace. Jahan Dotson would be the one Redskin that I'm looking at this week.
I love that you said Redskin.
Isn't that their name?
It is on this fucking show.
As far as Denver goes, not a ton to get excited about for me. I think the pass rush, and I think Washington D's even in play a little bit here in this one against Wilson. I think they'll generate enough pressure, force some turnovers, some sacks. Not a really inspiring DFS game. I think, as folks heard, majority of our action is going to come from the 1 p.m. window. Very limited DFS plays from the afternoon session.
Benny, I shouldn't even let you fucking talk anymore. But Benny, anything here?
Nothing to add, really. I mean, I'm on Dotson.
All right, you're just a trader. That's all you want to say?
Yeah.
That you're a piece of shit trader? Okay, cool.
That's it.
So let's do that. Fucking garbage person. You're not invited to my house this weekend. So let's run through this now. I'm going to go through each of you guys individually. Give me 2 or 3 guys that you know are obviously we're going to build multiple lineups. Someone in the chat said, Tommy, do you even play DFS anymore? Why do you think I fucking hired these fucking guys? No, I mean, I play a little bit, but the last time I played DFS, I was in the New York Post and they made a documentary about me. I'm a fucking monster. Yes, I do play DFS, but not anywhere near the level I did before because I run a multi-million-dollar company, run a gambling organization, and have a lot fucking going on. And in order to compete with ScarFace and Healy and all the other people out there, no. So that's why I host the show, but I'm still the best. Just know that. What are we looking for here, guys? Give me 2 or 3 plays that are definitely going to be in your lineup.
I'm going to give you one because we didn't even bring them up when we talked about the game, and I have them right now in my cash game lineup. And I don't see why not even for our tournaments. He could be sneaky as Jake Ferguson, the tight end of Dallas. We talked about Buffalo earlier where Kincaid and Dalton Knox got I think it was a combined 8 or 9 targets or a combined 8 or 9 receptions. Dak will be under pressure, some short routes. I mean, Ferguson got the volume last week. He got 7 targets, but he only had the 2 receptions. I think he could be sneaky, and Dak does like throwing to the tight end in the goal line, near the goal line. So Ferguson at 3,300 is in my cash game lineup as of right now.
Listen, I don't hate that. Obviously, the Jets are a very difficult team to play on the edges. We saw Whitehead have 3 picks. I think that was a little bit fluky. By the way, had 3 interception bonus in his contract, where if he had 3 interceptions for the year, got $250,000 and did it in 1 game. Should have scaled that shit up. But we did see Dawson Knox and Kincaid, if you combine them as one unit, have 7 catches and 8 targets against the Jets. If you're going to beat the Jets, that's the place to do it. Don't hate that, Mike. I don't think that's a bad spot. I think Reed.
He got the volume, and Dak relies on the tight end.
I think that's okay. I think Dak's going to need to do that. He's going to see a lot more pressure than he's expecting. And listen, 7 catches last week, tight end versus the Jets. Reed's a lot better than people think too on the other side. So I do not hate that as a pivot off the Green Bay tight end. Healy, give me 2 or 3 guys that if I'm playing you head to head or if I'm in a 3-man versus you, I know that's going to be in your lineup.
Yeah, for me, Rachaad White is going to be a staple in a good chunk of my lineups as it stands now. And as previously noted, article will be up on the site tomorrow with kind of final thoughts heading into Sunday morning with kind of reflective of actual lineups. And then the other one for tournaments I'm really high on in a leverage spot is Josh Jacobs, as I mentioned. These 2 running backs will be very high owned across the majority of my lineups this week.
Okay. Benny, give me a couple guys that you know are going to be in your lineup.
Keenan Allen, I'm not going to – yeah, Keenan Allen is number 1 on that list. I'm going with Rachaad White as well because I got him in a lot of my lineups right now. And I'm just going to turn my camera off and not even say the third one because I don't want to piss Tommy off again.
If it's a Cowboy, no, you're not allowed to say it. No, yeah. I hope you fucking die. Trevor, give me a couple guys you know are going to be in your lineups, even though we know that whoever you say is probably not going to end up in your lineups because you're going to do something crazy, John.
No, I got 3 entry max. That's where I like. So I got Allen, I got Diggs, and Sims.
Okay. ScarFace, talk to me.
Deebo.
I love it.
Deebo will be in a lot of my lineups.
Ayuk.
Deebo and Chiga Konku. You're going to see them in a lot of my lineups. They allow me to fit a lot of the other studs, and I think they got upside.
All right. And comment, did you give a couple from yours?
I gave up for now. I like Saquon. Like I said, I think it's going to be a Saquon week. I like the Jets defense. I mean, I think that's underpriced. I think that, just Dak hasn't been exposed yet. He didn't need to be last week. They didn't throw. Jets are going to get to him. They're going to put pressure on him. They can get turnovers, get sacks. I think the Jets defense is ridiculously low priced at 2,700. I mean, honestly, I think that's
insane,
a great play.
dude. It's fucking insane. Yeah,
I like the Cowboys too, Benny, at 4,000, but at 2,700, I find myself on the Jets more, and I'll use that 1,300 somewhere else. I mean, the Jets defense could outscore, Dallas defense technically. I mean, could. Most likely won't, but 2,700 is a great play.
And by the way, 4 Deep Bet subscribers can confirm when I stopped doing as much DFS content, I was giving out my lineup illegally, which you're not supposed to do, to the DFS subs, and we cashed 9 of the first 10 weeks on that. So I am going to give you 5 players that are in my lineups now going forward. Don't tell anyone that I said that. But if you sign up at 4deep.com, you may get it because I don't give a shit anymore. Drake London's in my lineup. I know it's definitely not the optimal play. That's a contrarian play. 5K. Last week was an aberration. There's no way I'm getting away from it. Devontae Adams, if you're playing 3-entry max or something serious, maybe leave Drake off. There's a lot of options at that price. But if you're playing a high leverage GPP, Devontae Adams has to be in your lineup. This is a great spot for him. I think Josh Allen goes off, and I think he's the comeback with no Jacoby Myers. Keenan Allen, stealing from Benny, the traitor, the piece of shit. I loved it. Love what you said. Deebo Samuel was in there, ScarFace beforehand, and the Jets have to be in there. 2,700 is fucking absolutely insane. And I think you guys are a little undervaluing Gibson. His punt returning upside, his electric upside, that wasn't a fluke what you saw in week 1. So special teams ability, sacks, turnovers. I think Dak comes back, Jets win the game, but 2,700, you don't need much to do it. So I'm stacking my lineup with receivers, building my strong core, and then I'm going to work in some cheap tight ends and mix in the running backs. Anything else, Healy, you'd like to share before we get the fuck out of Dodge? Oh, God, you're so stupid.
Mute.
So
Mutiny.
stupid.
Mutiny.
Such stupid people surrounding me.
Well, while he's unmuting, Breece Hall, right? If he's healthy, I know he's a little banged up with the knee, at 5,900 with the Jets D at 2,700. For 8,600, you get Breece Hall and the Jets D is a nice little correlation to start.
And no one's going to – that Q tag's going to help you because he's playing, obviously.
If he does, I mean, I like that little correlation.
He's playing. Trust me. He's playing. He logged a full practice on Friday. He's playing. Like, Breece Hall's one pop away from fucking hitting value. Yes, I like that. Fuck you, Benny. Brian, what were you trying to say before you retardedly muted your microphone?
It was actually on purpose. I was actually spouting out my favorite bet of the week. But those subscribers at 4
You're gonna make them sign up. I like that.
We'll be able to get that when I post it in chat after we get off the show.
All right. And if you had signed up for 4deep.com, you already would have been. I mean, I'm actually bored. There's no game that we bet that's even close. So.
Healy's my favorite individual in the world.
Why is that, Trevor?
Healy's the best.
Money man. That's my fucking money man.
Like him?
Healy
I don't
is
like
the best.
Healy's my money man.
Healy was actually the person I hated the most until fucking Benny spoke on the Jets game. So that's interesting. Mike's my new favorite. How about that? Mike's my new favorite.
Wow.
Mike's man.
Welcome. We just came out of retrograde. The whole fucking world's upside down right now. But me and Mike,
Tommy did jive with a lot of my picks today.
I mean, listen, Mike, I've been feeling. Maybe it's because you won me a lot of money in UFC for the last month. So, but whatever it is.
How about
Mike,
last night? Honestly, I mean, I released the 3-unit bet on Swift over 2.5 receptions at plus money. To me, that was stealing. I mean, like, honestly, I mean, Kenneth Gainwell got 6 targets, 4 receptions last week. Swift got 2, 3, 4 with him in there. They like to check down. To me, I mean, he only got 3, so it's not like we blew the doors off it. But
you only need to get 3.
I thought that was really obvious last night. We kind of got lucky because we got
Constantino 4-1 plus 7.6 units in the NFL after slaying UFC. Mike, you may be living up to your honor. It's nice to see you giving football bets before December.
Yeah, no, I'm on it. I like these little spots. Last night we also had Hawkinson live. We got
down.
very lucky. We got all 3 on the last drive. But hey, man.
So give one piece of advice before we get out of here. Final words, Constantino.
Stacey Allen, how you doing?
How you doing? Not a boy. Trevor, final word.
Work hard, party harder. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, Trevor's gonna be playing blackjack live, and Trevor will be losing 20 grand live on the blackjack Discord later. Benny, final word, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, 10 catches for Keenan Allen will pay off your mortgage this weekend.
You better hope so, or else you're dead. That's the only thing keeping you alive. Brian Healy, final word.
Don't forget about the Sun God, Amon-Ra, another
Amon-Ra,
10 reception candidate this week.
Tommy G's boy. ScarFace, give it to me.
Read my article tomorrow. All my plays are in there. I break down the slate. I show you ways to build your lineup. Use it. Make some money.
That's it. I mean, you got the fucking gangster right there. And I'll give you the final words. Get over to 4deep.com. Promos going right now. 30% off the monthly package. 50% off the rest of the year package. If you liked what you saw here, it just gets better. We're only on half the staff here. We got another fucking 15 guys hanging out in the Discord. Howie, Dewey, and myself will be running college football tomorrow. Mike will be sliding in for UFC. These guys will be grinding. And then Sunday will be live from probably 1 p.m. till 3 in the morning. So if you want to win money, and have some fun, come on over 4deep.com. Get over there. No promo code needed. For the trader, Benny Riccardi, the fucking, I don't even know what goat is, ScarFace, Healy, Constantino. I am Tommy G. Good luck. Stay cashing, motherfucker.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.